He has 19 health left.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I think it's still Wednesday for Vil, who's in the call. We'll get there in a second. It's like Friday or something. They're off in the future. But hope everybody is doing well. It is Wednesday, so that means it is Kdog After Dark. So I'm making sure the cat isn't going to knock something over again. She literally, right as I was getting ready to like switch over, like knocked over everything on my desk. Luckily did not spill the alcohol though. But, you know, priorities there. All right, without further ado. Web show. Everybody here. All right, let me actually turn you guys up so that way people can hear and all that other kind of fun stuff.
You went offline.
I did not. Are you sure? Are you sure?
It said offline.
It said offline. It definitely said offline.
It absolutely said offline.
That was one of like, the weirdest things.
Love you, Mixer. All right. Anyways, yeah, no, that's a funny story. That probably would be a K-Cat thing. Be like, that's how I was looking. Literally, like as I was going, like I was quick about doing it, and she like knocked over the eye tracker, like all the Stream Deck stuff and everything, and just did that. So, but again, everybody, welcome back to stream tonight. The part of wine is going to be played by coffee and bourbon, because I have only like 3 good bottles left, and I need coffee. We were talking about this in the call before we started, guys, and Kdog is tired. Kdog has not slept well in forever, and, you know, getting old sucks.
Wrong with my camera.
Oh, yeah, it's doing back the Discord thing, remember? Like,
all right, so I just disconnect, reconnect?
Yeah, I think that's how we solved it last week.
All right. I'll be back.
Well, we'll try it. Yeah. Now, okay. Supersized villain. It's guys. You know, it's streaming. It's Discord. The internet's on fire. So we do with it what we can.
Restart it.
Yeah.
You're back.
No worries. And villain. There's villain's ear. Hi, villain's ear.
Oh,
there's his mouth. Wait, like wave over here a little bit. You could take up both. It's still not as good or as great as what was it? The JoJo's boob days. Oh, it's going to be like half blocked out a little bit. Yeah. Aw. Disciple will be back with us shortly. It's an issue with like Discord since he's like his ingress is all the way over somewhere. And yeah, it just looks.
Hey, and it's not fixed.
Yeah. Well, I think it like randomly fixed last time, didn't it? Like after a little bit.
I don't know. I'm entering the matrix. It's
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, kitty. Hi, kitty. She's like, what are we doing? You just woke me up. I didn't wake you up. I got up to get bourbon, and you decided to follow me. Anyways, moving right along. It's Wednesday. So, Kdog After Dark, everybody. If you have not been on the show before, or well, not been on the show, been to the show before, it's going to be one of those nights. Until I finish this, guys, it's going to, well, until I finish one of these, it's going to take a minute to focus. But if you've not been on the show before, we just sit here, we talk about gaming news, goodness, gaming, anything to do with the whole industry of gaming, video games, streaming, all that kind of good stuff. Fun fact, did you guys know? Totally off topic. And I did this because I had to post on social media. Do you know what today is?
No, go on.
It's
Wednesday.
It's Worldwide Draw a Bird Day. I drew a bird. Wait. That's my bird.
That is so beautiful.
That is the extent of my artistic abilities. So I'm celebrating today, guys.
It's a tweet at least.
I just did
Twitter logo.
I'll make it tweet also. But I already took the picture and made it posted. But you know, that's I don't have artistic abilities like Warlock and other people, guys. But that was me celebrating. Like we can't celebrate International Beer Day because that was yesterday. I mean, we could, but it's not the same. We missed it by one day, guys. Anyways,
this is true.
Without any further ado, like I said, my name's Kdog. I'm hosting, even though I'm half tired. We'll get through it. We'll get through it. Now I might be on autopilot for like the first 10 minutes, but beneath me this week we have welcoming back Disciple. Everybody, wave, say hi to Disciple. Hi, Disciple. And then this week's special guest, we do have VillanG himself from across the pond, staying up. It's like 4 a.m. or something for him right now, isn't it?
4:15.
Yeah, 4:15. Jesus fucking Christ. But he did say that he's starting his 8-day vacation, so that's why he's joining us this week. It worked out. Yeah. Hold on. Coffee break.
Oh, you slurp on that.
Oh, yeah, he's a sloppy slurper.
Anyways, that first sip of coffee. Tonight, guys, got a lot of gaming stuff to go over, gaming news to go over. Not as much industry news. A lot of new videos. Talk about the Inside Xbox that recently was just this past Tuesday. PS5 controller came out. We'll be talking about that.
Yep.
And really, like, that's kind of there's like one or two other news things, but really that's it in news this week. There wasn't much news. It was more on the gaming side of things. So there's a lot of stuff with games. Before we get into it, of course, I do always like to say, guys, everybody out there in chat, we love you. But if you have not been here before, I do have to give my disclaimer that if we do not answer you right away, we still love you. We promise. We just are doing the web show / podcast. What I don't know which I call it. I call it still a web show because we do it primarily that first, but then we go from there. But if we don't respond to you right away, if you do have a question, we do have the link. Wait, I'm in the totally wrong thing on my Stream Deck and all that. And you guys, it's CAD1. There we go. Why did that not?
I think he was in mine first.
Yeah, that's why. I was like, wait, it should work. So if we do not respond right away, we still love you guys. If there is something that you do want a little more information on that we don't touch base or that we do miss in chat, there is a section in my Discord that has the live Q&A there, and we always touch base with that at the end. So, but we will be reading throughout, and you'll see sometimes a lot of us, if one of us is talking, we'll type in chat and kind of respond so that way we don't cut each other off. We do that a lot. And of course, thank you everybody for the host to follows ahead of time. And we'll kind of be saying that throughout as well. But if we don't want to interrupt each other, we will not. You know, every once in a while we want to interrupt each other, we will, but we're not as often and all that. So, moving right along, there's the disclaimer. Normally, it's a little bit more, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Eloquent, but coffee. Anyways, coffee. Oh, I did put up. Hold on, wait. Where is it? Hold on. Oh, I'm gonna have to do it over here. I moved my keyboard cam. So wait.
Your keyboard cam.
Well,
what?
I just moved it over because I had the idea at the end of last week. Hold on, wait. Kitty cam.
Oh, it's a kitty cam. I like that.
It's a little dark though because it's in the corner.
Yeah.
But I just like swung it over the top of my thing, so it's in her
That's
little
cool,
thing.
man. I like that.
I just kind of curved it.
Yeah. Now he needs his own light. K-Cat needs his own light.
Yeah, well, she would probably be like, why is there a light shining on me? So, let me do this. Snazzy. All right.
I'm doing my 8-bit dance.
I can't go much higher than that. Shouldn't be any worse, but anyways, don't worry about that. That's about as good as I can go. Yeah, I would say that's really without blasting my own eardrums off. But yeah, so we'll just go ahead and get right into it, guys. We do normally start with the kind of news side of things, which I said is going to be a little bit shorter this week, and then we kind of get into more of the gaming stuff, unless there's something mind-shattering that we have to talk about first, which by all intents and purposes we could say that was Valorant this week, but we'll wait for Valorant. You know, we don't want to make Disciple feel too bad. We're hoping that maybe he gets a code by the end of the thing.
Valor ain't.
No. Hi, kitty.
I'll check my email right now.
I just looked at the Twitch drop thing. It's like, hey, you got a Twitch drop. I just look at the little bell notification. That's how I knew. Well, I got it the first day. I opened up like 15 streams. I took a nap and woke back up and I had a code.
And I saw that you had a code. Where did you get it?
I know. Bill came into the channel. He's like, you motherfucker.
I'm so happy to have one now, though. It's such a good game, in my opinion.
It really is. But we'll talk about it a little bit more as we're going into it. Sure. Later on, we'll probably end up more with that. Starting off with the news stuff. Inside Xbox news show, for those of you guys that don't know what it is, which is kind of weird, being that we're on... Oh, yeah. The funny thing about this is that my hand movements are going to be, when I do all this stuff, it's going to be... K-Cast just over there, just whatever. Anyways, So this is Xbox's little show about what's going on, what's coming out, things like that. They just had one this last Tuesday. So what that is that a lot of good things that they mentioned, a lot of things involving the Game Pass, things like that. First, the main biggest thing that they did mention that I saw that they came out with is that an early version of Grounded, which is an upcoming survival adventure game from Obsidian. If you haven't seen that, Obsidian Entertainment, that's going to be on Xbox Game Preview on July 28th. And I do have the video for that queued up, and we can watch that here in a second. I was just going to go through some of the other things that they talked about. So that's going to be on the 7/28 or July 28th. The Series X, a little bit more information about that, which is Microsoft Xbox new console. If you don't know that, I hope you're enjoying the rock that you're under.
Where have you been?
Yeah, exactly. I hope that rock's really comfy. But yeah, so the Series X, they did come out with thing, and I think it's kind of interesting reading about it. The games, so they're having it so you can save games like you could like with the external hard drives. You can save games onto an external hard drive plugged into the new Series X, but to play them, they have to then be transferred to the internal, which to me kind of defeats the purpose.
Yes.
What the hell?
Yeah, I'm waiting for a little more information about that, but it's like, what is the purpose? There is one caveat, though. The other caveat is that if they're saved, you know, I'm assuming this just applies to like you're plugging in your, you know, 2 terabyte that you use on everything else, hard drive, external, whatever. The caveat is if you are using the official Seagate hard drive, and I'm assuming they're referencing that the new hard drive, the one that we were talking about a couple weeks ago.
Right.
I think that, I mean, maybe it's a speed factor of it, but and first thing is like, what the fuck is the point of saving something onto an external hard drive if then I have to transfer it right back onto the internal hard drive of the Xbox?
Right.
So
like, I think like one of the things is like obviously they've had a partnership with Seagate, and there was the hard drives that came out for this Xbox, the Xbox One, had that all of them worked. It didn't matter like what hard drive you got, even if it was the Seagate one, which was the official Xbox One. So I'm not too sure why now we're gonna have to get an official Seagate one in order to play them instead of just being able to use the ones we have now. If you see what I'm saying.
yeah. I mean,
I understand.
I don't get it either. My only assumption is the fact that it is going to be that new hardware and they want to make sure that's fast enough to run, because maybe the internal hard drive is faster, you know, than plugging in over a USB or, you know, port. I mean, the NVMe should be faster. Maybe they're just, you know, maybe they're...
Should be a lot faster.
Yeah, it should definitely be faster.
Yeah, we should have to wait, I guess.
And maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're just like, hey, all these games are going to be expecting to run off of, you know, NVMe speeds using your, you know, external hard drive that you've used since this generation or whatever. Maybe isn't going to be up to par.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. See, I just can't talk.
I still in my brain that still doesn't make sense why you would ever constantly move data from one place to another.
I don't get the point.
I mean,
what I'm gonna do.
Make sense.
So the more Disciple does not agree with something, the more pixelated his camera is gonna get. That's gonna be my He's like, this is fucking stupid, and it's just like.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
You restarted Discord, right?
I did.
You did that last time, yeah.
And then I can try again.
We could do one thing. If you guys want to do it, I might have to resize. I could make a fresh new call and see if you joining up into this call is maybe the issue.
Oh,
if you want to do that. So
that's
here,
up to you.
let me do that really quick. We're gonna try and see if we can get Disciple not to be in the Matrix really quick. So here. We're going to leave the call, and then I'm going to invite you guys back into a new one. Home. Find or start. Disciple. Add friends. Vil. Starting video call. Oh, Jesus Christ, Warlock.
Now we're perfect. We're perfect, and now yours is fucked up.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to do the, because, yeah, it's trying to draw it into there.
Oh, damn.
Whoop. I can do that easily, though. There we go.
I mean, yeah, I'm just back to being normal pink.
Yeah,
This is how I love it.
There you go. Yeah, I just figured just your connection to the call for whatever reason. I don't know. Technology. We just roll with it, guys. But yeah, so that was the caveat released about the Series X. Other stuff they're talking about, Forza Street, which I was gonna look up. So I didn't realize Forza Street is coming to iOS and Android May 5th. So I didn't realize that. I guess Forza has a mobile game.
I didn't even realize that was coming out at all. No, I'd never heard of it.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing, but that's coming out on May 5th, guys. Announced at the Inside Xbox event yesterday. So for you Forza people, if you want to play that on your phone, there you go.
Yay!
Yeah, I know. I was so excited.
Also, remember, if you log into the game for the first 30 days, you'll earn a special car as a welcome gift. So
yes, special goodies.
Yeah, special car for a game for, I'm never going to drive because I'm never going to play it.
Yeah.
Big facts.
Mm-hmm. Truth. But if you are a Forza person, if you are any interest in it at all, log in that first 30 days, which I don't know how many times. If you're going to play it, you're going to play it in that first 30 days, but there is the incentive in the first 30 days to get a special car as a welcome gift for that. And then don't forget also, we talked about it last week, all these games like Forza and Sea of Thieves and things like that, they are instituting Game Pass bonuses and awards, things for being part of like Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate in-game incentives, and be like, hey, thanks for being part of Game Pass. Cosmetic wise, so I'm sure that will also tie into this in some way, shape, or form with Forza moving forward. Things coming to Game Pass that were mentioned. Speaking of, Journey to Savage Planet and Football Manager 2020 are coming out on the 9th, tomorrow. Those are coming to Game Pass. No date as of right now, but they are announced for the Game Pass. Is Mistover, Stranger Things 3, the game, not anything else, but the game. The new Human Fall Flat expansion, and Alvastia Chronicles. I don't know what that is at all. I was trying to look it up, but I can't really find too much information.
Is it just me, or is it some of these games that they give us free for Xbox just completely lame?
Yeah, it's some of them are completely like, and I get it, they're like the free games, but it's one of those things, like, you get those free games for like games with gold, and it's like, okay, these were like the cheap games somebody's like trying, or they've been out for a little while. Some of these, it's like, okay, I'm paying this much a month. Why am I? That's why I always had a hard time with it. I used to like not be able to justify the price of like Game Pass and everything, Game Pass all, because I was like, there's nothing on it. Like, it's all these crappy games. It's a little bit better now that they have the PC side of it and they are incorporating some PC things. Things
that's
even
the only
like
reason I bought it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, same. I mean, they had Gears being added on.
Gears was like the one reason I subscribed.
Yeah,
I made the jump over from normal Xbox Live to Ultimate for the PC.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It just for me, I don't play those type of games. I think I'm not their target audience.
Yeah. Which is okay. If we get, I'm not upset about it if once every 3-4 months I get a $60 game, because then that's about even that I get to play for cheaper. I'm breaking even. As long as I get one good game every 3-4 months, that saves me buying it. And then you get to play Half-Life, Reach or whatever with Vil when it comes out. Oh, speaking of, guys, I told you I'm out of it, but I started drinking. Vil, hey Vil, you want to talk a little bit? I didn't even introduce you. We were just like started talking and bullshitting and all that kind of stuff. So guys, this is Vil. We've hung out a lot. Met randomly the last day. I told you I am so out of it, but I'm getting better. The coffee and the whiskey is helping. I told you I'm super tired today, guys. And then technical issues and all that. Disciple's already going back pixelated again. He's already upset. I can see it. But yeah, so Vil and I actually met West, I think second to last day I was there.
Second
Well,
last day,
yeah,
yes.
second last day of like that you were there. I was there for a couple extra days, but yeah, the last day I think of West and all that ended up down at Pike's Market, just walking around and all that. Because I was walking.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Pike's.
It was chill.
Yeah, and ended up at a random like beer hall brewery or whatever there and hanging out for a bit.
Yeah,
Never met
Pike's
each
Place
other
Brewery,
before.
I think it was. That was on the Pike's Place Market.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
pretty
that's
nice.
actually one of my favorite places. I love that place.
It was
It's
really
awesome,
cool.
man.
Yeah. We walked over to the gum wall and all that, and saw that
Them walls
atrocity.
right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, so Vil, awesome. Recently partnered. Recently, it's really weird that I can see my arm here. Because I keep like
I don't
pointing,
like
but
it.
it's like I don't like it either. We'll turn the KCat cam on randomly. You guys just be like, hey, what's KCat doing, and I'll turn it on. How about that? Because it's throwing me off. I see it in my corner of my eye, and I'm just like,
This is better.
yeah,
man.
it's driving me nuts. You know, she's just laying
it's
there
no
anyways.
8-bit, but
Yeah,
you know,
it's no 8-bit.
almost as bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's driving me insane as well. But I wanted to show KCat because I moved it. Anyways, but yeah. So what was I saying? Vil, tell us a little bit about yourself. Recently partnered, obviously. What, like 3 months ago now? No, not even that long.
Yes.
Is it?
Just yes, it'll be around. It'll be coming up to 3 months this month. I was partnered at the end of January. I got my button. My button dropped on the 31st of January, and yeah, we've been partnered since. It's been crazy. I've been absolutely loving it. It's crazy.
I'm not gonna say it's because you got into that partner event at South, but
Mr.
you know,
Kdog.
you know that the rubbing elbows at South might, you know. Nah,
The behind story on that, guys, was basically when I went to PAX South, so did Kdog, and they had a partner meeting there, and I couldn't actually go to the partner meeting because at the time I wasn't a partner. I get a call from Kdog, and he's like, "Yo, you want to come to this partner meeting?" I'm like, "What are you on about?" He's like, "You can be my assistant." I was like, "All right, big bet." Comes over, gets me an armband. I'm in there. I'm just like, dude, this is absolutely insane. Meeting all like partners and stuff, seeing all like the people who like work at Mixer. Like the event was insane. I absolutely loved it. I appreciate that, dude. I really did.
yeah, I mean, it was a pay it forward thing because like Disciple.
Assistant.
Yeah, exactly. Disciple. Well, technically, Disciple didn't give me. Say Disciple brought Hufo technically, but he would have brought both of us either way. I think I was with technically Charlie at West, but it's a pay it forward thing. You know, it's like that right before you get partner. It's kind of nice. And it's really cool to just kind of see, and it's it's a meet and greet thing that Mixer does for us at these events, which is kind of cool. So, I did that. Yeah, and what times and all that do you normally stream? And I'll convert it over here for our US times. You're like an afternoon for us, right? I think. Aren't you a daytime
dude,
for us?
I work days and nights, so I do morning streams and evening streams. It just depends on my shift pattern. It changes weekly. It's
Got
really
it. Got it. So
good.
just turn on Mixer, guys, and he's gonna be live half the time. You're good to go half the time. A lot of Halo and things like that, right? He's a Halo main.
Halo.
Yeah,
Absolutely
always.
love
If
my
you love Halo,
always.
yeah.
Always, yes.
You're a
is
Halo
definitely my
main?
game. I
Really?
He still
I
plays
did
it like
not
once
know
a
that.
week, right? Don't you do like
Yes, at least
Wednesdays?
once
Yeah.
a week. Apart from yesterday, I kind of skipped it because I got Valorant and I got a bit like excited. So I was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, we'll skip it this week. But yeah, every single Wednesday usually, apart for like unless I'm working like a night shift or something, we always do Halo customs. Like back in the day, like Halo 3, Halo Reach, all the custom games. Some fun ones like
Is it
Jenga.
cross-platform or are you PC only? Or
It's
what?
unfortunately not cross-platform, and currently we only do it on the Xbox because I don't actually know too many people that actually have Halo on the PC. That really like hop
two
on it too
here.
often.
Yeah. We played when it first came back out. I ran a little bit with him
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Disciple. I'm gonna have to hop on with you then for sure because I don't really know too many people that play it at all. I really don't.
Yeah.
Not on the PC.
I know when Reach or whatever first came out, we ran a couple games together.
Yeah, a good few games definitely. And I believe like since then they've obviously put the patches in. It will have improved. So definitely, I'll be down for.
I really hope so. It's only a 7-year-old game.
I think that was the first time I ever played with VillanG was playing Halo back in that release.
Yeah.
Honestly, love me a little bit of Halo. So good.
Yep. Yeah. So if you're looking for Halo content, if you still have that little itch, or in like 5 months whenever the new Halo comes out.
Halo Infinite.
Yeah, Halo
I
Infinite,
hope
whenever
it's
that comes
delayed.
out.
If it does, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
This
I'll
is
be
your
playing
guy
that.
right here. This is your guy.
I love the new Halos. I think the new Halo series is gonna be.
I've got my fingers crossed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Holidays 2020. That's right, Drifty.
Yep.
Yeah. So November, December.
Yep. Awesome. So that's Villain, guys. I was supposed to do that like 20 minutes ago on the web show, but I totally forgot until it just randomly popped into my head. So
Nice to meet everyone.
that's Phil. That's our special guest this week. Anyways, going back into what we were talking about. Random games. Where were we? Oh, Minecraft Dungeons. For people that are interested in that, it actually did look kind of amusing. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it looks fun.
It actually did look fun.
About giving it just a little go.
I know. It's like, you know, I'm not a Minecraft person, but Minecraft Dungeons, I could kind of, you know.
I mean, it looks good to me.
Yeah, I might, whatever. That comes out onto May 26th. Other things, the Journey to Savage Planet, which is one of the things that they just said was coming to Game Pass. That expansion, it's called Hot Garbage, which I giggled at. That's literally the name of the expansion. The expansion title is Hot Garbage. I thought it was amusing. That releases on the 15th. News about Gears Tactics. Gears of War Tactics is called Gears Tactics, but in the Gears of War franchise, they went a little bit more in depth about that. You're playing as Kate's dad. When it does come out, it's going to be on Game Pass, and also it will be released on PC Game Pass as well, which is kind of cool. So it is going to be, when it launches, it will be on the PC Game Pass as well. So that's nice to hear. They talked about also at the Inside Xbox, the xCloud, which we've talked about multiple times, the kind of cloud-based gaming for Xbox. They are starting to test that in Western European countries now. So that's kind of cool that that's moving forward. That was slated to release later this year, so they were talking a little bit about that. Sea of Thieves update on the 22nd for Shredder, who's not here this week, but you know he wasn't feeling well, so he backed out. And then that's the 22nd of this month. That's an expansion and update on that coming out. And then Atomic Crops is May 22nd, which all they said was in this recap was that Atomic Crops will be out May 22nd. I had to look up what it was. It's an action rogue farming simulator.
Right.
Yeah. So I looked at like the pictures of it, and it reminded me of like a mixture between like it's not quite like 8-bit, but it's like Stardew Valley with like hints of like Gauntlet was like what I was getting, except it's like farming simulator. Yeah, I was just like, what the heck am I watching here? Yeah,
sounds pretty cool, to be fair, though. I would give that a go.
Yeah, action rogue farming simulator is the technical classification of the game. It looked amusing, but no. So the main one that I think the headline of the Inside Xbox, which I did see it actually yesterday on Mixer when I was popping around, is the early version and early access. Well, not early access, but early release of Grounded and the kind of demo for that coming to the game preview system on July 28th, which I do have. If you have not seen it, the announced trailer, which is a 2-minute trailer. I have a lot of like trailers and videos for you guys this week, because that's literally what majority of it is. A lot of like announcement trailers, a lot of things like that. So switch over to this one.
Oh, and by the way, real quick interjection. Minecraft Dungeons. Oh, that's weird. Minecraft Dungeons price point is only $19.99.
Makes it even better. Whoop. Whoop. Why are you shifting? Whoa,
am I crooked?
Okay. Well, that you were, and then it like started to revert it like that way. Okay, that should be good enough.
Whoa.
Yeah. That looks good enough. Are you too big? Do you want to be smaller, D?
No, I'm fine. Let's go.
No. I'm making you a little smaller. There you go. You were just super tiny over there in the corner. All right. Is it also officially in Game Pass? I mean, I know they announced it, but if it's officially like released in Game Pass,
I did not see that it was said officially part of Game Pass. No.
Okay, yeah, that's why I didn't see that either. So that's why I wasn't assuming, or didn't want to assume. But if you have not seen this, this is Grounded.
I was just on it.
Okay, yeah. So this is Grounded. Looks really cool. There we go. I like Obsidian also, so any Obsidian games I'm always intrigued by.
Wow.
This looks pretty good.
Honey, I shrunk her.
I just can't wait for all those people who like with the spiders and all that shit
cool.
and like
Play it with
I mean, that's
Xbox.
going to be the title of everyone's stream. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
oh yeah, exactly. Like that's the vibe that I got was, you know, that whole thing, you know, the Ants movies, same thing. I thought that, and I thought of, I think it's at Universal, was it? I can't remember when I was growing up, the Honey I Shrunk the Kids like area and all that, and you run through
Yeah,
like
yeah, it was
the
actually like 4D or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because it also like sprayed mist and crap at you.
Well, they had like a play area too, where it was like that with the AstroTurf, and then you had like the big like just stuff you could climb on, like a giant like baseball and that kind of thing. But obviously, like your little, you know, tiny character, you're shrunk down and like fighting ants. That's a cool little twist on a survival game. I think it looks amusing. I mean, I think that was the highlight there of the show today. They had a lot of different stuff, but that was like one of their big announcements, is that an early version of that is coming out. But yeah, that was pretty much the show. I think the Grounded looks cool. If it was any like I don't know, like price wise, it's on the game preview, so I assume that will be free when it launches, the game preview system, which normally those game previews. Will I be paying for it? Probably not, because I don't play a lot of survival games personally. So I don't play enough of them to really warrant me like getting it. But you know, if it was like a $15 game, I mean, you know, things like the Forest were cool and all that. You know, I could see that like playing with a couple people and doing the survival aspect and everything. So I mean, kind of a little nifty. I don't know, a different little take on it. You know, but yeah, everybody's gonna be doing that Honey I Shrunk the Kids thing. You know,
For sure.
100.
I completely agree.
Just like April 1st was, I'm quitting streaming. I'm quitting Mixer. All right, people. I get it. That was we talked about it last night. It's like every stream title was, this is my last day of streaming. It's like, all right, we know. It's been the same joke for 7 years now.
That got real old.
Yeah, it's like every stream title, but you know, it happens every April 1st every year in our industry. But
Well,
what?
only another 350 or so days to go.
Yeah, exactly. And we're good, and we'll get it again. But yeah, so that was the event, Xbox Insider event from Tuesday. Moving right along with other news goodness. We have talked the last couple weeks about nifty things, and D, when he was on, he wasn't here last week, but 2 weeks ago with the iRacing that's been going on with NASCAR and everything else being transposed over, and them doing a lot of the online races. Not getting back into that too much this week, because we've talked about it the last 2 weeks, like all the different races and all that. But one of the funny things just relating to it that I saw in the news this week that I think was funny, that also stands in the same way that since we have been talking about some of the repercussions and how the real life version of these sports is tying into the simulated version, is that this past week, actually at the eNASCAR Invitational that they were holding, one of the drivers actually rage quit during the game, during the simulator. So he got bumped a couple times and he rage quit. And he actually tweeted out, like, they were like bumping, which, you know, we did talk about how you'll probably see a little bit more bumping in the online because you don't have to worry about it. We were talking about that last week. Obviously, you know, it's online, so you don't have to worry about losing hundreds of $1,000s on a car and possibly like losing your life and all that. So you might be a little bit more adventurous to take a corner or something like that. But he got upset and you know, said something. I can't I don't see where the actual quote is from what he originally said. But then he tweeted out afterwards. He was like, he's laughing. And he says, "Baha, I'm dying at my mentions right now. I ruined so many people's day by quitting a video game. Damn, quarantine life must be rough." And he said something else before that. Like, he was upset. But yeah, he like rage quit after getting bumped a couple times, like thrown into a wall. So he quit the race. Funny thing about this is that actually one of his sponsors after that, Blue Emu, which is like a medical, they do like icy hot type of stuff, braces and shit. They actually responded back to him. They're like, "Good to know where you stand. Bye, Bubba. We're interested in drivers, not quitters." So he lost his sponsorship from rage quitting this event. Like his actual real life NASCAR sponsorship, which is something we talked about last week, is that, there may not be prizes in these events necessarily, like they're all for fun, quote unquote, but these drivers that have it, they still have those skins on the car, and they still are, like a lot of these, like on NASCAR, they're being televised on Fox. These sponsors are still paying these guys because they're still driving around. All these people are watching on Fox the same time. It may be simulated, it may seem like it's a video game, but if it's still being broadcast on the Sunday 1:00 spot, and all these hundreds of thousands, whatever people watching it, just like they would normally. I don't fault. Like, it makes sense to me that sponsors, like, you just quit. Like, we're paying you to drive around in a car that says our name on it to all these hundreds and thousands of people. You just quit out, and we're not going to pay you. Good, which is something that we did reference last week. Yeah, I mean, I could kind of see that both sides where, a lot of people were like, it's a video game, but this is being televised on Fox. They're paying as a sponsor, to have their sign up, essentially, and being driven around to this marketplace. So it's funny because we actually did just talk about it like last week, how I wonder, like, I know we were assuming that these sponsors actually were still paying them, even though there weren't prizes for winning like there normally would be. The sponsors are still paying them. And this made it, evident that, hey, they're going to, if they're not driving around, or if they, quit like that, they're going to lose sponsors. They're still getting paid. They're still making money doing these things, even if it is from the comfort of their own home office. But I thought that was funny. The other funny thing from it was lost sponsorship. Oh, and also like these are, it's a real life thing right now. Like, the video game is transferring over, real life is transferring over into this sim racing, because Jimmy Johnson, who I actually recognize that name, which was kind of amusing, he actually fired his spotter like halfway through the race. Like, his real life spotter was actually in the the game, the simulator and all that, and they gave him like a bad call or something like that. So he fired his sponsor or his spotter like mid race because they kept So it's like these like people like they're actually taken into it, because it falsely told him that he was clear of another car, and he ended up crashing. So he ended up like losing the race because of that, or at least like not placing well. So it's it's becoming a real thing, and I think it's interesting. I still think it's kind of cool. So I still think it's cool. I'm excited to see where this goes over the next couple weeks as quarantine, and how this affects once we're out of quarantine and social distancing, et cetera, how this continues. If there's still going to be the online desire for all of this. So
I believe there will be. Mm-hmm. I believe there will be.
I think there will be. I'm hoping that I think that it's only doing good things for esports and all in general, because most people just think of esports and think of like League of Legends, or CS:GO, and this is showing that there could be more, because this is still a the skill doing this is different, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, but the skill doing this is very similar sitting in the car. It's not like me playing NHL or NBA 2K. I can't play that and beat LeBron James in that and go out on a court and do the same thing. But if I were to beat somebody in a simulator, like in a racing simulator, if I beat Jimmy Johnson, it's essentially the same thing. Like, I'm still sitting there in front of, it's not taking a toll on my body, but I mean, the skill is still there.
It is very true.
So I think it's going to be nifty. I think this is opening up a whole new avenue of things, and we've talked about that before. Next. We lost Disciple, but I'm sure he'll have stuff to say here in a second. Well, we'll do Oh, it's okay because it's out of order anyways. Good Guy Company of the Week, which I just started doing these because always in the news, for those of you guys that have been here for multiple of the web shows, we always end up having like a company that, you know, made the news that week for, you know, a video game company or something like that for doing something good. A lot of the times it's been Nintendo, is because they're just a really good company. But this week, Good Guy Company of the Week, definitely. There's not an article or anything, but has to go hands down to Mixer.
Big facts.
Big facts, because for those of you guys that didn't see, they did something they didn't have to. A lot of you guys may have seen through a lot of our socials and all that. They actually reached out to all of us who were partners and gave all of the active partners a $100 stimulus, whatever, bonus, whatever you want to technically call it. A stim pack. Just something to be like, hey, times are hard right now. We know that everybody, but they gave all their partners, which there's, I don't think we're up to 1,000. I think they're around like 800 or something. I'm really speculating. I don't know if there's supposed to be, or if we're allowed to disclose exactly how many partners they're on. I'm just ballparking. Just ballparking. Don't yell at me, Mixer. I'm not releasing NDA stuff. But you know, but that's still like kind of cool that, you know, just Mixer was just like, hey, we know that all of you are having issues. Thank you for, you know, entertaining people during this time. And that's kind of how they worded it as well. It's like, thank you for just entertaining people and keeping spirits, you know, just kind of going. Here's a $100 stim pack. Happy. So that's why they get to be. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Mixer. That's how you get to be Good Guy Company of the week. That's all you missed, Disciple, was Mixer. We were talking about Mixer giving us our $100 little bonus. So there.
Heck yeah, bro.
that pays for, and even like in the email or whatever, they were like, use this for, you know, like, I don't think they said like Uber Eats or anything like that, but yeah, use this for Uber Eats or whatever, you know, some delivery, and thanks for entertaining our communities. It's like, cool, thanks. I'm gonna use it probably on a bottle of wine, but yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, and they, you know, something, yeah, exactly. They did not have to do that for any reason whatsoever, which is really cool. So,
and I mean, considering how many there are, that's a lot of money lost.
It is.
You know, that's an investment back into their own communities. So, I mean, it's.
And that's what I was saying. Like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if I'm allowed to even say, or I don't know even the exact number. But I was like, I don't think we're over into 1,000, but it's still like we got to be somewhere around there or close or getting to it. That's a lot of $100 checks to go out. That's 2 zeros. Like that's a nice thing to do for the community, you know.
It is.
Yeah.
It's that much more they need to make up to make us profitable.
Yeah.
You know, as a company, or to be even farther in the hole.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's. You know, it's someone's pockets that doesn't get in line. So
yeah, so which definitely means something at the end of the day. So it's definitely cool. So all right, back in the news thing. I think actually like one of the last couple news things that we have this week, the big news that dropped Monday, I think it was the first time I saw it. Might have been over there Monday, somewhere around there.
Your voice gets so high pitched when you get the other questions.
PlayStation 5 controller, aka Xbox controller. No, but it so we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll get kind of opinions. So I think this dropped like Monday or so. But the PlayStation 5 controller, called the
square button.
The DualSense controller. Not the DualShock. The new one is called DualSense.
Yeah, DualSense.
DualSense controller. A couple things about it. Haptic feedback, so just kind of like how your phone when you tap it, and that's called like haptic feedback. The way that's made, the vibration. So instead of having the vibrating, what's the term? I'm blanking on it that we have right now. Like not the rumble. I could actually open up the article.
Can't help you.
Can't help you. Sorry.
I'll think of it here in a second, guys. But anyways, it's using haptic feedback now. I'm blanking on it right now. But that's going to be the new technology for it. It's just kind of like similar to your phone, the way that it vibrates and things like that. The haptic feedback to pressing buttons and everything as well, rather than the little motors just kind of spinning and doing shit in there. Adaptive triggers is something that they're touting that it's going to have, which...
What is that going to do? Do you really want something to do that on the trigger?
Yeah, so that's what I kind of think. So adaptive trigger, so it adjusts resistance. It can adjust resistance for different gameplay effects. So what I read that as is like in those times when you're like trying to, those quick play timer events type of thing, if you have a trigger, it might like provide more resistance to pressing it down. which I think could lead to controllers and shit being broken, because I don't see how much resistance in I don't know. I'm not so like in my head. I just don't see that being a good thing, because like all I think of is that if that trigger or whatever, that button is harder for me to push down, and you have some person there, some big guy with big strong hands or whatever, and he just freaking snaps it like really quick or whatever, that trigger, and then now that trigger doesn't work anymore or whatever because of the resistance.
I'm right here. You can just say disciple.
You big strong hands. I'm just saying hypothetically, I don't know how strong your fingers are,
I went through 6 elite controllers.
Yeah.
I break controllers.
Yeah. So but
I've never thrown one.
Yeah, if it's like, providing resistance on the triggers, and if it's, then all of a sudden you push too hard and then the resistance breaks. I don't know, like, because that's how I adjust resistance for different gameplay effects. I don't know, like, I hope that it's not trying to like stop, because it's not going to be a hard trigger lock. I don't know, but that's what they said. That's what the articles and the releases on it. Hopefully we get some more information before then, but that's my first impressions on it. Yeah.
This is another one of those. I think they should have focused more on their console more than their controller, which is what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
Yeah. It has an integrated microphone.
Yeah.
USB-C port for charging rather than the micro USB that we've had up until now. The share button has been renamed to the create button. And the PlayStation button is now cut into a little PlayStation logo instead of being a circle. That's pretty much all the changes. Oh, and it looks like a fucking Xbox controller.
It's a similar ergonomic design as an Xbox controller. It's almost in the middle. It's almost like Steam's controller. If you had a Steam controller.
Yeah, and I was looking. There's another picture. If I go into the Discord and call and all that,
compared to a Stadia controller.
Yeah.
I see that. Yeah, Stadia controller.
I agree with that.
The triggers remind me of the Pro controller. So the way if you guys kind of like see the Pro controller for my Switch. Like the way that the triggers are on it, they actually, the PlayStation ones, like from the pictures, like the pictures weren't that great, but it reminded me just kind of the way that they look. They kind of look like the top looks very similar to, I saw it and I thought this looks like the Switch Pro controller, the triggers and the way that they're kind of set up, which I do like them. So if that is the case, I won't knock it. But that's what it looked like from the picture, from the angle. I couldn't really tell you for sure because it wasn't a great picture, but just my first impressions of it. Other than that, it's still that same, touch sensitive pad there on the center. Other than that, everything else is, still the same. Oh, and one of the things they talked about was the dual color. Woo.
That was like, great. Please tell me you're being sarcastic right now.
No, that's literally in the article, like on the actual, like on the release for it was one of their like highlights or whatever about it is
oh god,
like that it's dual color scheme.
Yeah,
it's yeah. So, being Xbox and Mixer people aside, thoughts?
It looks horrible. As in, like, not from a usability point of view, but just the actual way it looks, just appearance. It looks actually awful.
See, I don't think the looks are that bad. I mean, it looks kind of like they're going for like that space theme, like very. I mean, I don't want a white controller. I eat while I play. I touch stuff. I mean, I don't like. I've bought a white keyboard. Biggest mistake of my life. I mean, it's just things. These things you have to learn on your own. And buying white accessories that you're going to grab and put this many hours in your skin, because you're putting a lot of pressure hitting those buttons, and your skin starts to wear down, and the skin goes all around it. It's just you don't want it white.
Nope, not at all.
That's. Yeah, so practicality, it's not gonna last.
Yeah,
but I mean, it looked pretty up on a shelf, you know, because I probably never play this PlayStation either.
Yeah, it'll
right
look
here.
It'll look
The
pretty.
controller's perfect.
Yeah.
It's got 10 hours of play on it.
No, I agree.
Something else to add on that controller though is that mic. Is that going to be like a Kinect mic?
Yeah,
I feel like it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
So you're gonna blow in it. It's gonna say, "Please blow in me."
Yeah.
And you're gonna look on stream. You're like, "Really? You want me to blow you?"
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, and it's gonna have those cheesy integrations where you have to like say something during certain games and PlayStation games and all that, and it's gonna be like, oh my god, like I have to
Blow up
talk.
this balloon.
Yeah, it's gonna be silly. It didn't say, they didn't release whether or not there would be other color schemes for it at launch. I assume that they would have at least an alternate color scheme.
They're gonna have a black
Yeah,
version.
I assume that there would be a black version, or like maybe black with white, just an inverse of this. I don't know. I will say that I still say the DualShock, the current generation PlayStation controller, is the best technologically, best controller technologically that's on the market. Whether depending on how this adapts into the new generation, I don't like the controller. I've never liked the feel of the PlayStation controllers. I will say that this one looks like I might enjoy holding it a little bit more, because I do prefer the Xbox controller, and that more so. So this might be a little bit more comfortable, and I might actually enjoy holding this controller a little more than I have previous ones, and it will have that technology. Do I love it? No. But for me, preferring the Xbox controller and it moving more in that design, almost, or like the Stadia, or like even the, the Switch Pro, I could see myself liking this controller more than the DualShock, even though I thought the DualShock had great technology. The fact that this does have the touchpad and everything as well. If I were a PlayStation person, I would be more excited for this controller than I am for the DualShock. That's my takeaway from it. But I agree with all the aforementioned comments as well. 110%. I'm not sold on it, but I'm just saying, personally, I like this setup better just because I don't like the design of the current controller. Right. That's my only takeaway from it.
I felt the controllers were for smaller-handed people. PlayStation, I feel like that, like my kids could pick up any PlayStation 4 controller and play with it, no matter what age, as long as they could play games.
Yeah.
And Xbox are like, oh, this controller is too big, and it's like,
I miss the freaking Duke controller. I loved that controller from the original Xbox, that big ass monstrosity. Everybody remember that?
Monster.
Dude, I freaking loved that thing.
That one properly. Could not use that.
Oh, dude, I freaking loved that one.
Okay.
I know, but I loved that controller. It was just huge.
That controller was made for giants.
I know.
Giants.
But I freaking loved it. It was like I actually felt like I was holding something, and that's why I think I always hated the PlayStation, because the PlayStation,
what you were holding.
Well, yeah, but the PlayStation controller, I was sitting there like holding this little tiny fucking little thing, and like the Duke controller, I was like, let's fucking go. I'm playing goddamn Halo. Yeah, let's go.
I mean, you could pack force feedback in that fucking controller. That's how big that thing was.
I actually remember taking like the covers off of mine and spray paint. It was so easy to do because it was so big. You literally like the screws were just standard size fucking screws in the back. You just unbolted that. I spray painted them. Just fucking good to go. But yeah, so I think, and I was reading chat also, I think everybody's kind of very underwhelmed, and I have seen quite a few of the memes as well for this controller. This is not a good start for them catching back up for how they've been in terms of the race towards these new console releases, in my opinion. I felt like it was the wrong direction to push, like, hey, we need to get something out there this week, and it's gonna be breathtaking, and it's gonna put us back on the news. This was a miss. Yeah, and I think absolute miss. I think that was their intention as well. I agree. I think after everything, they were trying to like, okay, here's our new controller. Here's all this stuff. Yeah. But I mean, everything that I just read, there isn't really anything on there that, I think they were attempting to do that, and like the look is definitely new for them. But things being new. It's like, you know, when Apple comes out and says, hey, new in the, you know, Apple iPhone 11. And they're like, this is new, this is new, this is new. And everybody on Android is like, shit, we've had that for 3 years. You know, it's kind of like that same kind of thing that I feel, you know, where...
It's a hard sell to your friends. You know, when you're the only Sony guy out of the bunch, everyone else is Xbox. It's like, man, did you see the controller? Yeah. Everyone's like, cool shit, bro. Cool shit.
You have fun. Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone's been there.
Yeah. Yep.
Every single person.
Yep. Well, that is, and I think everybody we're in agreement there on the PS5 controllers. That is the end of the news this week, guys. Like I said, there really is no standby news this week. A lot of it is more gaming related. We have a lot of gaming stuff to go over this week. But that's the end of that. And with that, I'm gonna have another drink because I'm starting to wake up finally.
Nice. I'm ordering Uber Eats. That's why I'm looking down.
Goals.
What are you ordering?
I am ordering a quarter pounder with cheese for myself, a medium fry, and then my kids are getting 10-piece chicken McNuggets, and the wife is getting a quarter pounder with cheese as well.
I'm jelly.
I'm not. $40.
I was just saying, how much is that for with the Uber and all that? It's okay. That $100 stimulus, that stim pack we got from Mixer. There you go. They are buying. Mixer is buying you dinner. That Mixer's buying you dinner. Cheers. Thanks, Mixer. We appreciate you.
And I absolutely do.
Yep, I did spend some of that $100 on pizza for the family. So
did you? Good, bro.
Yeah. That's what I feel like majority of us are using on. It's like, yep, that's food. That's Stream. That's Uber Eats. That's, you know, whatever.
I mean, like, it's just a good way in, like, you know, in like the state that the world is in. Ordering some food brings everyone's spirits up a bit, you know.
Yep. Very true. Very true.
I don't know. Does it bring up my spirits to know I'm an absolute sucker for spending way too much money for being lazy?
I don't know because I haven't had that one.
Which restaurant is that? Hold on, I didn't see that as a little check mark. Yeah. You guys know I've been good lately, but you guys know I'm the same fucking way. How many times have I ordered fucking Uber Eats? I've been sitting here 6 o'clock in the morning. Fuck, I'm hungry. All right,
me and Kdog are very much alike. We spend money like it's growing on trees.
You can always make more until you can't.
Right. Until you can't.
Until
now. We're both unemployed. Full-time streaming.
Yeah. You know. Well, you know, 2 months ago we were making, you know, way too much money. Well, not way too much. There's never enough. So much is way too much, but enough where we could spend it like we had it. And now it's well, fuck.
Yeah.
That's why people, you know, I mean, I know D's in the same way. It's one of those, it's, you know, everybody's like, oh, well, you know, maybe it's a good thing for, you know, being full-time streamer and this and that, and that, you know, maybe you'll be able to quit your job when you're done. And I'm just like, it's not going to pay that much. They would have to pay me a lot of money to be a full-time streamer. I hate to break the news to you. I love doing this as a hobby, but it needs to add a lot of zeros to what it pays me every month to
a lot of zeros.
to make up for what I make normally.
Yeah.
And that's a fact.
It's a lot of streaming to get to six figures.
Yeah, it really is a lot of subs, a lot of sponsorships, and all that. So, anyways, moving right along. About as fast as unemployment is in my state. Anyways.
Goddamn.
Florida is fucking terrible with that shit. It really is. It really is. Anyways, $275 maximum a week.
Dude,
it's fucking terrible. It's fucking terrible. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. Gaming topics. Yay. Not social economic problems and current world events. Back on
this
to
is gaming news.
The game. Gaming news to some of us. So, and I actually know that there's a decent couple people. I don't know if they're in there right now, but I know in my community, so it did pop up. There are still people, and quite a few people who still play No Man's Sky. So that was in the news a little bit this week. They had a big free update, which is actually really cool. Hold on, where's the video and all that?
I want to play this game. I don't know. Have you played it, Villain? No Man's Sky?
I have not played No Man's
now
Sky,
that
but I know
it's
what
been
it is.
out a
I've seen
while, and now
gameplay
that it's
before.
like fixed and everything,
Yes,
I will,
right.
and that's what everybody says. You know, they're like, hey, now it's a lot better. And like, and I held off from the beginning, but I am like willing after all the updates. They have brought it back up to a solid place, and I'm really like, there's a lot of cool shit. And that being said, with the update that is live, just went live, I believe.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me. They added
Mechs.
mechs to No Man's Sky. And they are really fucking cool. Really fucking cool. When it first came out, it was rough. But it's now been, what, 3 years? And they have totally changed the game. And I wanted... It's a mech. Who doesn't like mechs?
I want to ride in the mech. I mean, come on. Ever since Ripley went in one to kill an alien, I want to go in one.
It's pretty cool.
That was like an 85 or something.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
A long time ago.
I wanted to get in one since then too, even though that was before me. But I mean, it has like the mining laser, you know. It fucking jumps and flies and shit. You know, you can... I like how they're all just sitting there jumping and harvesting and shit. But yeah, there's different mechs. There's a couple different suits that they have. It protects against like the terrain and things. Prepare for Titanfall. I like that. Yeah. So this is the cool thing. So this right here, one of the big things about it, so they did release No Man's Sky, and it actually does incorporate VR now as well. And I don't know that if it did on launch, but it does now.
It didn't on launch, but
Yeah.
it has for like the last 6 months or so.
And so one of the cool things with these mechs as well, it does incorporate for VR the actual cockpit, an immersive cockpit as well. So that's what you're seeing here, is like you can actually, if you're playing on like VR, you can look around like your cockpit as well, which I think is really cool. Like, and it's only for a second, but I mean, I think, you know, for VR, little things like that are pretty fucking awesome, because you're still staying in your, you know, your first person perspective. You're inside that fucking cockpit.
I like that.
Yeah, I think so too. Like I said, I know there's a couple people out there that, you know, play this game still, or might be willing to go back into it. At some point I will, just because I see that, you know, it's still getting updates. It's, you know, they are doing better than when they first came out. They have made a lot of positive changes. I am a fan of that for companies that are doing that, have made the changes for the better, and have finally brought it to a point where it's more so than what it should have been at launch. Honestly, you know, it's past that point, but,
Yeah,
you know, maybe like a
definitely,
year
I'd have to
ago.
say.
Yeah, a year ago it
like,
was.
That's it. Exactly what you're about to say.
It was, you know, where they should have been at launch, which heard different stories, you know, that the publisher forced them to release faster, et cetera, et cetera. It is what it is. But where it is now definitely is a lot better. Looks pretty cool for all you guys who do have it or whatever.
Did No
Mechs
Man's
are in the
Sky
game.
actually go to console?
Yeah, it was a PS4 initial launch.
It was.
It was a PS4 exclusive, I believe, if I recall correctly.
But it was so empty at launch, and now it sounds like it's definitely fleshed out.
It was a shit show at launch. It was nothing that it was supposed to be. But now it seems to have everything that it was supposed to, and then some. And now it has mechs. So go pilot around a mech, guys, and do it in VR, and you could be in all that kind of thing, and it'll look really fucking cool like that. I mean, I'm tempted to almost, like, you know, like I said, one of these days maybe pick it up. Definitely looks a lot more fun.
It's on sale right now. What, $29.99 on Steam?
Something like that, yeah. And if you have, you know, the
like
VR
50%
headsets,
off or something.
yeah. It's definitely worth it. Yeah, I just have the couple of pictures for that. I don't think there's anything else.
It's definitely a potential buy for me. I've always been interested in it. I mean, it's space travel, anything space. I really like. I'm into. So I mean, and then, you know, I've recently gotten hooked on Satisfactory, and everyone says, you know, it has similar type of addiction
vibes.
You know, that vibe of, you know, continuing to upgrade and, you know, learn new recipes and building new things. So I mean, that's definitely something that intrigues me.
Yeah, I think that it definitely has the ability to, you know, get lost in it. a lot more so than the original because it has more content than when it first came out, and you know it's at a much better place. Ugh, I would not mind playing it, but then at the same time, I have so many other games on my docket right now that I just...
Yeah, that is my situation. So
yeah, damn right. You know what? We're gonna end. We're gonna end this show, D, and you are gonna have a Valorant beta. You're gonna have a Valorant beta key, and we're all gonna go play Valorant together. Happy thoughts.
I'm watching streams right now. I have no notification.
I believe in you. I believe in you. Anyways, that's No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Next topic, Borderlands. Again, new stuff coming out for that. We talked about them. Hey, I love it. They just need to make crossplay. The only reason I haven't picked it back up, although we have had now 2 story expansions. So I did say around 2 story expansions I would get back into it. So I probably will be in the next couple weeks because I do have the... season pass, DLC pass, whatever you want to call it for Borderlands. So I'll probably get back into it. I was just hoping that it would be cross-buy so that way I could play with the community a little bit more. But now we have 2 would do that. But something cool that did release. Where is... Oh, why do I have 2 of the same window? Oh, okay. We'll watch it here in a second. But so Borderlands 3 released this thing called Borderlands Science. Oop. And I'll show here in the video kind of what that is in a little bit. It's the idea behind it. It's a little kind of like looks like an arcade game and the actual ship in Sanctuary 3. So there's a little like Pac-Man video arcade kind of kiosk thing, whatever the terminal kind of stand thing. Yeah, it looks like that right there. And the actual game. It's called Borderlands Science. The quote is, and it's released by the goal of it is to help real-life scientists map the human gut microbiome through a mini game in Borderlands in the game. So pretty much like how we used to do, and we've talked about it a couple times, like with the COVID thing and like the old SETI thing. Like I imagine that's the same thing, where they're sending like these little packets of like the code to you, and you know normally like your hardware or whatever would do it. Like when we talked about the SETI thing and the COVID thing, your hardware just analyzes it. Well, when I was reading through the article without getting too technical, what it is there's so many different factors in the biome, and having to code a computers to recognize the similarities would take so long that it's just not really worth it. And then so Borderlands worked with the couple of colleges and schools to kind of help map this, and there are in-game rewards to actually essentially playing what's like a Tetris game where you match and make these little like the little biomes, like they're color coordinated and they have like little symbols, and I'll show that here in a second. And so you get your game, they send you like the code, your version of the game, you're linked up online. The little packet of information you get is like the DNA of each microbe. It encompasses a string of bricks of different shades and colors that the players then connect them to eliminate the similarities. So like I said, rather than spending the hours trying to get a computer to be able to do this and then actually being able to run the software, you know, they reached out and this and that, and they were working and giving gamers an incentive to do this. And it's kind of cool. Like it looks pretty cool.
With your
they're talking, yeah, they're trying to get rid of like the bad information.
Them down into bite-sized puzzles that you can play and
so
solve
they're in-game puzzles.
Borderlands 3. And
it looks like a Tetris
think
game.
About the fact that the DNA came from human excrement when I use phrases like bite-sized. By playing Borderlands Science,
I thought I had it queued up to the right point. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go.
Confronted with different strands.
So
you'll be confronted with different strands of DNA, each made up of individual tiles. It's your job to place as many of these tiles as possible in their appropriate row while matching the colors. It's not always possible to line everything up perfectly, but that's okay. By playing the game and matching the sequences, you'll also be identifying the errors in our computer analysis and helping scientists across the planet build a better algorithm for the future. And since all this research is open access, the entire scientific community will benefit from it.
So what if for you, those of you guys that also here in the call, I don't know if you have the audio going. Normally you guys don't. So what it is, like I was kind of saying, is you're matching these. It's not always going to be like perfect because they're sending you these little packets of information, but you're just doing the best. And the main focus here is to find the similarities and kind of get rid of the errors and all that, and kind of give them a better working algorithm for mapping this out in the future. Just using us sitting there and making it look like a video game, essentially. Right. And just make it, and then they're going to build, and it allows them, you know, in the future to build this algorithm to properly map the DNA.
You're helping refine the algorithm by playing the game, and they've essentially made it a video game.
It's actually incredible how they've done that.
Yeah. Yep, to match the different factors, the different, I don't know if they're proteins or whatever, but the different, you know, different parts of the DNA, you know, the different enzymes and whatever nonsense, etc. It comes with, there's skins, so like you actually get like in-game cosmetic rewards and things like that. There's, you know, like backgrounds, there's the Borderlands, all the different skins for the different characters, so there's all these different cosmetics and things like that. So there are incentives to even just go in and play it. And if you want to take a break from Borderlands and play Dr. Mario, Tetris, whatever you want to call it, it's really fucking cool, you know. Just something a little different in game, get some cosmetics, and, you know, help science. Yay, science.
It's like really mad to even think that they've managed to incorporate that into a game like Borderlands, because of all games would you think, oh, let's go on Borderlands and, like, you know, help humanity.
Well, the funny thing is, like, of all games, you say that of all games, it does not surprise me that Borderlands would do some shit like this, because Borderlands is one of those fucking games, and I'm a huge Borderlands fan. I've been with the Borderlands series long enough. They're definitely doing a lot more in this recent rendition, but they definitely, the Borderlands developers, and one of the things I've always liked about the genre and the whole series, the Borderlands developers and all, definitely are people like us, who are nerds, who are just maybe not like necessarily down to earth, but they definitely incorporate that in the game, all the Easter eggs, all the references, all that kind of stuff. And I think they generally just are, you know, would fall under that good guy company type of thing. Like they definitely, to me, it doesn't surprise me, because I've been with the Borderlands so long, like Gearbox, like they definitely, all those inside jokes, all those just kind of just cool little sciencey things, like they incorporate. Maybe they've never done anything like this to help humanity before, but it doesn't surprise me. I mean, the recent expansion is based off of Lovecraft fucking novels, you know, and lore and all that. Like they just, you know, reference some weird shit. And I agree, but I agree with the statement factor of it, the fact that we're able to do that and help science. But if any game were to do it, it does not surprise me that Borderlands was one of the first ones to be like, hey, let's, you know, for a mainstream game, be like, hey, let's incorporate this cool, you know, and they're making it look like weird science. Like that's the theme here. Yeah. You know, they do all this weird 80s shit and all that, and it doesn't shock me that Borderlands is doing something like this. You know, there's so many different inside jokes and everything else that I love about this series.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, does it shock me? Honestly, yes. Because, I mean, this takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of planning. It takes smart people. I mean, I think it's amazing.
Oh, yeah. No, it doesn't shock me that it's them. It shocks me that this is a thing. Definitely. Yes. It doesn't shock me that of all the random, you know... If Call of Duty made a little mini game like this in it, I mean, I'd be like, laughable. What the, yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? You know, I don't see Call of Duty, but like if you went, hey, what would be a game series that you think would incorporate this kind of thing in a weird, quirky way, or like a little mini game that might help society? I'd be like, I could see Borderlands doing that. Yeah, you know, it would be at the top, maybe not the front runner, but it would definitely be one of like the ones that I would mention. You know, doing something like this. But yeah, it's, you know, these are things that the idea here is by allowing potential hundreds of thousands of Borderlands 3 players do this job for scientists and their computers. They can shave off a ton of workload, essentially helping with gut research, where they can be the key to treating all kinds of conditions, not limited to, you know, diabetes, autism, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, obesity, allergies, all that kind of stuff. So do your part. Go play Dr. Mario in Borderlands. Simply put.
Mario in Borderlands.
Yeah, exactly. Dr. Borderlands. You know, That's it. You know, it's very unique, but yeah. Disciple left again. Bye, Disciple.
I think he went to go and get his Uber Eats.
I was well, that would be really fast though. Good on Uber Eats by him.
Oh, yeah, facts.
Yeah, I was saying, didn't he just fucking order? Might be going to get another drink. Oh wait, next wait. Which way did I go? Borderlands. I have my notepad and I keep. The thing is with my notepad, I'm in the middle of it, so I don't know when I make all these notes like which way I fucking flip, and I have to read, and because I put it down, and then it's like, wait, which way am I flipping? That I always get fucking confused, and I just confuse myself again. There we go. Got it. All right, Borderlands done. Next. Oh well, we're gonna have to. Oh, I totally missed the fucking. I didn't open up a tab. Well, we'll have to wait for him because he's definitely gonna want to talk about that. So we'll skip one here for a second. But where did it go? Fortnite. My favorite game. Sarcasm for all of you guys that aren't familiar with me. Not my favorite game. I respect it, but not my cup of tea. Fortnite update went live. If you guys haven't seen it or haven't heard, of course, Deadpool was one of the big draws from the new season of that. That is now live as well. Has a nifty little video going along with it. Deadpool skin now live along with his katanas, things like that. To get the skin, all you have to do is find 2 pistols hidden in the in-game menus, and then you go in the game and then just go into one of the little changing booths that they have, and you're good to go.
You have to have the battle pass.
You have to have the battle pass, correct. You have the pistols and all that other kind of stuff that's been in the game, I think, up until now. They also added in the katanas as well, I believe, with this update. As well, and then his party boat, which is eerily similar to me as the Mirage party yacht thing in Apex. Yeah, I was just like, so the boat or yacht that's in the corner of the map on Fortnite, which I don't play Fortnite, so I don't know, but I guess there's a boat kind of thing. But all the images and everything, it's Deadpool's party boat, and it's pretty much reminds me of Mirage's party boat yacht thing in Apex. But
yeah.
Deadpool, please report to command.
Skin, they had to do a funny little. It's Deadpool. One of the actual skins I did read also is just like the costume. Let's see if it goes there. The next one that it brought me to earlier had a little bit of the gameplay footage, and I was just going to let it play, show the in-game footage of it. Let me see if it's the same one.
Look, you don't need to be a streamer or a famous YouTuber
to
share your gameplay
Go
with
away.
metal.
Go away. Skip
Drop a
ads.
like in the next 5 seconds. Looks like. Then, in week 3, we received the challenge, find that to cover. I recommend visiting this location and exploring all the secrets
I hate your voice. Anyways, yeah, so there's like the yacht and everything. I don't know, it's kind of cool. Have all the skins for the guns. The in-game skin I think looks kind of nifty. I guess one of the skins as well is without the mask on also. So that's kind of cool. It has the katanas. I mean, cool the drops and everything. I don't know. Like I said, I don't play. I don't know if those have been a thing this whole time.
You don't get the katanas because I went and I bought the battle pass just to get Deadpool. That's how much I love Deadpool. I went back, played it, got the pistols, got the Deadpool skin. You have to go into either a urinal or a phone booth in order to change into Deadpool was the final achievement to get the Deadpool skin permanently. And I absolutely loved it. So many people are Deadpool. It makes you feel like you're playing a Marvel game. It does not feel like Fortnite. And if you play the Rumble, where you continuously redeploy, no one builds. Yeah, Team Rumble. No one is building, so it feels like an actual battle royale game. It's
An
not
actual
Fortnite.
battle royale.
I had a ton of freaking fun. I highly recommend it if you're on the fence of Fortnite because you're like, oh, I hate the building. That's the mode for you. It's always there. It's a ton of fun, and you get to be Deadpool. Highly recommend. H2O Disciple Epic Creator Code.
Hashtag Epic Creator Code.
And
Use code such and such. Yeah, so you do the whole little like go in. There's the skin. It looks good. It looks good. And their big draw this whole season was the Deadpool. So we were just waiting for that to come out. Was the Deadpool skin.
They got me.
Yeah.
Sucker.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, I like Deadpool. I don't know if I like him enough to.
Well, it's definitely not gonna get me.
Yeah, it got one of us though. So I mean, there you know, it got
my daughter. My daughter, she bought it, and you know, my kids play this.
Yeah,
I mean,
it got somebody who, you know, D probably wouldn't have bought the Fortnite Battle Pass. I don't think.
Absolutely not.
If it wasn't for Deadpool.
Nope.
So.
Only time I go back to Fortnite is when Star Wars was there. Marvel was there. The Thanos event when you got to either be Thanos, that thing was amazing. These are the things what keeps Fortnite on top.
Oh yeah, no, it 110%. They know their. It's not even. I don't want to even say marketing, but they are definitely not afraid to take chances, and especially like with their partnerships and things like that, and they just go all in. And if something, I will say, I've always been impressed if something isn't working. With it, they try new things, and if something's not working, a month later it's gone. You're not stuck with it for 6 months, a year, etc., etc.
And when they do a bad patch, they're like, hey, we added this ability for a shotgun. They don't even give it a week. That like 1 hour later, like, we've disabled this shotgun from the game. It's no longer going to drop. There's no system out there that has that capability like they do.
Yeah, and they definitely, you know, are the best in the industry for that, and I always respect them for that exact thing. It just is insane. You know, I wish other BRs would.
I don't even like Fortnite that much.
Yeah, you know, that's the same. Like, I don't play it, but I respect them, and they definitely, you know, as a company, as a brand, they know what the fuck they're doing. They have a good handle on what they're doing. I mean,
they gave Ninja a skin. I wanted to go buy the Ninja skin. I'm sad I can't buy it right now because I would like to have that. I like Ninja. He's badass. I still don't like Fortnite very much, but I'd still buy his character, you know, for a couple bucks.
Go buy the Simbi skin, or you know, whatever.
Yeah, the Simbi skin. Yeah, I want to play with her actually. Like, I watch her play Fortnite, and I want to play with her.
Fortnite's one of those, especially because I don't like the building and it drives me nuts. Watching it, I can watch it every once in a while. You know, it's not my cup of tea. Like I said, I don't like playing it, but if somebody's playing it, like a friend of mine that I know that I like their content either way, I could go watch them a little bit more than I enjoy playing it, because I don't like the building. I don't like that. But I mean, it is a solid game, you know, and I can go watch play for a little bit of it, more so than I can other games. I'd rather, you know, watch somebody play that. It's a BR. It's fun to watch, rather than me. I don't watch like GTA or something like that. I don't know.
You can meme out in it. You can have fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, you know, this is no comment for me.
no, have a comment. Jump in. No,
like, this is like, that's it. No comment. Like,
no comment.
Like, no,
you just hate Fortnite so much that you just don't want to.
I don't hate it. I have no hate for the game, but I've never actually seen a Deadpool film, and I've never actually like really played Fortnite, so I don't really know what's going on.
it's you're not missing. I wouldn't say you're missing out. I mean, it is a fun game to try. It's a solid game. I will always say that. The mechanic, everything, the graphics, it is a solid game. And that's saying it is from all the mechanics, everything else. It's just, it's not for me. But it's a solid fucking game. It really is.
Definitely not.
And Kdog says it's not for him, but you know how many times I've logged in? Oh, what's Kdog streaming tonight? Fucking Fortnite.
Okay, once every like 4 months I do that. All right.
Okay, it happens.
It does happen.
Like, and it happened a second day in a row, and I was like, whoa.
I caught it like once every 4. So we played it like 2 days in a row for like once every 4 months to remind me that it's not for me. But it's normally like memeing out, like I'm playing with Jade, or I'm playing with Missy or something.
Cool. I mean, I would play with Jade. Jade's an amazing person just to play games with. So it's like, why wouldn't you go play the game that they love?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it is, you know.
And that's where I'm at too. It's like, it's not something I would naturally go to unless there's something like Deadpool. But it's like, you know, playing with friends is fun. Yeah. And playing Fortnite with friends is fun.
Yeah, exactly. And it runs a hell of a lot better than fucking Warzone does. That's for damn sure. Anyways, going back, we skipped one. All right, I don't even have a tab thing for it. Did I send a link over? I think I did. I just totally missed it. D, your game's coming out. What, tomorrow? Next day?
Yes. Final Fantasy VII is coming out, baby.
Let's go. Be interesting.
Yeah. I was like, we can't talk about this until D comes in. He comes back. Baby. That's his game. So we a lot of you know my feelings on it. Supposedly it's gotten better, but a lot of you know my feelings on the Final Fantasy VII remake. I was largely underwhelmed.
Yep.
By the demo that I played at West and the whole experience.
I didn't.
That's gonna be the nice.
I did not disagree with you at all about. We had the same experience. We played the same game. I was frustrated. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
I played the demo last 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was better. It still has a little bit of polish.
Mm-hmm.
But I am so excited. I've been waiting how many years for this? I think I pre-ordered it on Amazon every time they announced it's coming out, and they keep canceling it. Those bastards, because they keep delaying it. But whatever, it's coming.
This is it.
I'm excited
for you, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's finally here. So question-wise, though, is it? You said that it's better. Are you still getting it for the same reason that you got the Deadpool Battle Pass? Are you getting it because it's Final Fantasy VII or because you enjoyed the demo?
It's because it's Final Fantasy VII.
And that's what I think is going to drive these sales. I think everybody is Final Fantasy VII. And that was always my feeling.
Borderlands comes out, it's not the new Borderlands that's selling it. It's the nostalgia of continuing the series. I'm a firm believer in this, and that's what marketing is for the most part.
No, I agree.
So,
but the Borderlands, I feel like the Borderlands, it's a brand. You're continuing the Final Fantasy VII, and it's still in parts, right? Isn't it? They're like 3 parts. Yeah. So they're remaking a game it's years later.
At least 2 parts. So
at least 2 parts.
We're gonna get through a quarter, a third to half of the game, and they're gonna say.
So they are making
6 to 8 months.
They are making $200 off of your nostalgia for this game. For a subpar game.
You buy the game, and the game you get the whole thing. You're not buying.
Okay, you're not buying. It's not $60 for.
Sounds a bit like over the
okay,
top,
that's okay. That's I wasn't sure about that. That was one of my things. That's why I was asking. It's like, am I paying $60 for chapters 1 through 3, and then another $60 in 2 years for 4 through 6?
No. Yeah, so it's you pay the $60 for the game. There's no more additional content, no more DLCs, nothing like that. But last I read that it's going to be coming in pieces. So I don't know if it's a 2-part or a 3-part, but yeah, for the $60 you get all the parts. It's just they aren't releasing all at once. So we aren't going to be able to go all the way to the end of the game.
Gotcha.
I think the fastest I ever beat Final Fantasy VII was like 120 something hours.
Yeah. It's definitely, it has the content. I get the nostalgia factor, and I don't hate on it. Personally, I'm just one of those that I would much rather see a Legends of Dragoon remake. I would much rather see that. But I don't hate on people for that.
The original Final Fantasy VII, though.
I didn't play it all the way through. I probably put like 20 hours into it.
Yeah, 20 hours, you really don't, you know. You just met Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably. Yeah. I don't remember. I do remember like that, and I don't know how much after that.
You meet him in the beginning of the game, but it's like you really aren't into the arc of the story until you're 40-ish hours into the first game.
And it didn't hold me, and that's why I just wasn't. It didn't hold me enough to really keep me going. And I know that's me personally, so I don't hate on that. I know a lot of people love the game. So I
would get a tattoo on me of Cloud or in either of the characters from Final Fantasy VII. So
it's definitely a huge staple in gaming history and gaming lore. Obviously, is Cloud and everything. So it's there. They're gonna make their money. I'm just me being me. I'm trying to talk as the game. Is it? I think that you know, I didn't play the demo on PS4. I didn't even load it back up. I'm curious if I were to get it down the road or whatever, just as an impartial kind of person playing it, because I don't have that nostalgia factor, and that's how I went into that demo. That's why I was so annoyed. Where I went into that demo without that nostalgia factor. I wasn't looking forward to Final Fantasy. I wasn't not looking forward to it. I was like, cool, let's go play the demo. You know, it made neither here nor there.
On the gameplay was absolutely on point. It had, you know, nostalgia aside, the gameplay was absolutely trash.
Yeah, and that's
the frustration of like switching characters and then that other character doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
while you weren't controlling him, he was like doing 1 damage.
Yeah,
to
just
the guy.
just standing there doing nothing.
You know, it was just.
Yeah,
it was frustrating.
It was rough. So hopefully that's fixed. You know, hopefully they watched my rant right after West. That was like an hour long. You know, I should have added them on Twitter. You know, maybe they listened to my points.
They took everything that you said wrong and they fixed it off just for you.
Sounds great. I will buy your game for $60 if that's the case.
And I'm already gonna buy it and I'm gonna play it through. So just watch me. It'll be fine.
Sounds good. I'll come.
Maybe that little bit of storyline will be like, hey, maybe I should give it a chance.
Yeah.
You know, maybe. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be a lot of people playing it. That comes out Sunday, I think.
So it's 2 days from today.
All I gotta say, Disciple,
Friday.
is I really do hope you enjoy it, dude. After hearing that, like every single time they like cancelled it, you'd like pre-order it again. I really hope you enjoy it, man. You've been.
I do too, because I mean, you will hear me absolutely bitch for the next month.
I was gonna say, I kind of hope. No, I don't hope that you don't enjoy it. I agree. I want you to enjoy it, but also I'm kind of thinking content-wise, just in the middle of like a match, just going. So, Disciple, how do you feel about Final Fantasy?
Exactly.
That motherfucking game. God damn it.
Down if this game sucks. I mean, and everyone will bring it up, especially Kdog. He's like, so, you know, I'll be playing a game of Apex, absolutely get my ass kicked, and he'll be like, so is it better than Final Fantasy VII?
So how did that match relate to Final Fantasy? What you know?
That's just the relationship we have.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you know, it's the same. I get it. You know, that's me. Like, you know, Half-Life. Obviously, I haven't played the recent Half-Life, but that would be the same thing for me. If Half-Life 3 had been released instead of Half-Life Alyx, I just don't have the VR. But if 3 had been released, I would have been, you know, end all be all playing that everything, and I wouldn't care if it was terrible. I would be buying it, I would be playing it, I would, you know, and I wouldn't care. And
just
I'd be
see
like,
where they take the storyline.
Yeah, and I'd be like, fuck, you know, they ruined, you know, it was terrible, but I still played it, and you know, and it would be the same thing. So I get it. I hope it is everything that you hope it is to be.
That remakes are always going to be a letdown in some way.
Yeah, because you're holding them.
You're holding them to the you know what you experienced 25 years ago.
Yeah,
you know, which probably isn't even accurate to what the game was.
Yeah,
at this point, I mean,
we were talking about it the other day, and I'm sure we're all the same. Every once in a while, I go back and like look at videos. I think, you know, what was it last week when I, you know, was sitting here drinking, you know, after the full bottle of wine, and we were on like YouTube videos and all these things. I think we looked at a couple old like game trailers and all that, or game clips, and it's just like, Legends of Dragoon wasn't one of them, but since we already brought that up, I remember Legends of Dragoon just looking and just playing and looking amazing. And I go back and I look at, you know, like gameplay footage and all that and the graphics, and I'm just like, that's not how I remember it.
Yeah.
Is that how it looked? Yeah,
I agree.
You know,
I've done that the other day. I got, you know, Modern Warfare 2 Remaster came out on PlayStation. So I played it and I was just like, well, what did they change? Because it doesn't look too much different. So I went back on YouTube. I watched a 360 video of Modern Warfare 2 with the same mission. I went, did it really look that bad?
Yep. 110%. That's like, because you just hold it up in such high regard, and then you go back and you're just like, oh, I thought that was good. Rip. Yeah. But I hope.
I mean, it's like going back and watching old school movie or TV shows like Alf. Alf was like one of my favorite childhood TV shows. I rebought season 1, went and watched it. I made it through 15 seconds of the first episode. That is absolutely trash.
And you were like, nope.
I can't believe I like that show. Oh my God. There's just some things that are supposed to be left in the past and just in your memories, the way that you envisioned it. And then, you know, just let's not remake those things.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I
And
still
Final Fantasy VII might be that game.
might be one of those that should have stayed in the past.
I could be super disappointed. I mean, if they don't hit, like if they cut out certain aspects of the story that I played, I would be devastated.
Well, that is one thing I did think of, and I've mentioned before, is since it is such a core part of gaming history, it really is. It's a game that most everybody has played. So many people love. It was arguably one of the biggest JRPGs in America. I don't know how it is worldwide, but I mean, everybody I knew, everybody and their brother and their sister all played it, all loved it. It was, huge surrounding to it. If the remake sucks, like, will this be something that everybody's just like, we definitely should have left that in the past, remaking, I don't know, whatever random movie that you think of that had a terrible remake. Like, this very well, and that's what I'm worried about also, is this may very well be one of those scenarios where it's like, should have just left it in the past, how we all remember, nice and, pretty and special. And
do we need a new Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street? Do we need another one? No. And that should be left in the past. I love those movies. It's been, redone, by a couple different directors, but I mean, all in all, they've left that pretty decent.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like video games need one of those, and this might be it, like I said. This ends up being the lesson. It's like, we're going to cancel all those remakes.
Maybe this is the one if it does fail. It's like, hey, the one of the biggest games of our childhoods or whatever, nostalgia-wise, roughed up. Maybe they stop doing as many remakes if it is bad. Maybe that's the silver lining if it does fail, and it is shitty. Maybe we can only hope.
And
if
I
it
feel
is
like
shitty.
Nintendo's almost done that. I feel like they almost stopped making Mario games because they couldn't hit the mark that Super Mario World hit.
I don't know. The recent Mario game was pretty fucking solid.
And see, that's the thing is like they've redeemed themselves.
Yeah, they have. They have. Like, I know they
would
went,
miss that mark again. The exact same scenario,
Yep.
right? Where I think that they would have stopped making Mario games if this latest one didn't hit, because they had a few flops before this.
They did. But the recent, I will say that recent one, especially
fun as hell.
Dude,
I love it.
So much fun. And my favorite part was in the city where you end up getting the band together, like in Super Mario, whatever, the town, I can't remember what it's called or whatever, but then you're doing the party, and you could skip it if you want, like that. Well, not the quest part, but you're getting like all the band members together to perform the party or the festival and all that. And I'm like going around and I'm like recruiting people. It's like, oh, there's a guitarist, cool. And it's like, oh, there's a drum guy, cool. And then it's like, oh, there's a saxophonist, what? And then there's like something else, and I'm like, I'm building a fucking ska band, and I fucking put them all together, and it's a ska band, and I'm like, fuck yeah. They have the top hats and everything, and I'm just like, well, not the top hats, but the hats and everything. And I'm just like, the little trilbies and everything. I was so fucking excited. For those of you guys that don't know, I listen to like ska and punk and all that all the fucking time. That's my shit. So but yeah, I remember, like, that was like the one thing I will always remember from that game. And then, when they had the 2D side-scrolling part, when you're doing the party, the festival, and they had that homage to the old Mario where you played it like old Mario game. It was really cool. So, but yeah, I would say the same thing. If that had flopped, that probably would have been going the way of Sonic, Oh, Sonic! Whatever happened to you?
I love that movie, by the way. I bought and watched that. Loved it.
I have not seen it. I haven't seen a new movie in forever though, unless it's on Netflix or Hulu. And even then, I haven't watched a movie in forever. Yeah, and it's bad, especially like I have not, I work for the mouse. I have not seen a new Disney movie. Like I have people that like, every new Disney movie go out and see it and this and that, and I'm just like,
Onward.
I haven't.
Onward was amazing.
I heard that it's fucking amazing.
It's
have
a
not
World
seen
of
it.
Warcraft if you're an elf.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I've heard that it's amazing. Have not seen it. Name a Disney movie before that. Have not seen that. I have not seen a new movie, and I don't even know how long. Haven't seen Frozen 2. Haven't seen. I did see. Well,
oh man, you're not missing much on Frozen 2, to be honest.
I did see the Incredibles, the newer Incredibles. I think that was the last one I saw though.
I mean, that was a must-watch though. Yeah. Because the Incredibles one was amazing.
And Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph. I did see the new Wreck-It Ralph. Those were probably the most recent two Disney animated just Disney films that I saw.
Villain, do you watch Disney? I mean, you're not chiming in at all here.
I haven't seen any of them Disney films. No, I have seen absolutely zero of them.
They don't
but I've seen
import those
Incredibles
over
1 when I
to
was a kid.
Great Britain.
That's bull. They do too.
They do. They do.
There's a line of ships around Great Britain that doesn't allow Disney in.
I mean, I'm gullible, but that felt
I'm not
too.
just not really a movie person, my dude. I just tend to play like games in my spare time. Like even when I watch videos, like sometimes like even when I watch a YouTube video, I like pause the YouTube video like halfway through a 20-minute video to go and play because I'm just like bored.
Like,
Really bad.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Really bad with it. It's like I don't know. It's like a bad attention span, I guess.
now
Because
you
I'm
know.
not active. I'm not doing anything with my hands. Like if I'm doing something with my hands, like if I'm playing, I can sit there and do it for hours. But if I'm sat there and I'm like watching like a video or something, I'll be there like I've got to do something. So that's why gaming's like my go-to.
Need to get you like a fidget spinner or a wine key like I have.
That is exactly what I was thinking. I was like, we need to get this guy a fidget spinner.
Do like me, get a wine key for when you open your wine bottles and just sit here and do this all the time.
That is Kdog.
This is my fidget spinner.
Spins that thing
Constantly.
I would say 80% of his stream that he's not, controller or mouse in his hand.
Yeah, if
that
I don't
is in his hand
have it,
spinning.
this is it. I just sit here and do this. This is my fidget spinner. I'm gonna get a branded wine key that has Kdog on it somehow. I don't know. I'll figure it out. They did change the name of Zootopia in UK though. Zootropolis? What?
Really?
Zootopia is amazing.
Zootropolis. That's kind of cool though.
Zootopia was a
the
great
original
movie.
Rainy.
Zootopia is
The original Lion King. I've seen that when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, they remade that too. I didn't watch the remake of that. Well, I don't. All right, so of the early 90s Disney movies, since you did watch those, what is your guys' like go-to? I'm talking like the Aladdin, Lion King, Little Mermaid era.
Back in the day, Jungle Book was my shit.
Jungle.
Aladdin.
All right, going even a little more old school. I like it. Jungle Book.
I like the singing. I used to sing a lot, so I sang Aladdin a shitload. I still know all the words to the entire movie pretty much.
I think my favorite is Aladdin also. Aladdin, Tarzan, or not Tarzan, I'm reading chat also. Hercules is up there. Aladdin, though, I think is my number one. I still love a Little Mermaid as well, but it's normally like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and Hercules.
Yeah, mine was Little Mermaid and Aladdin. That would be my two.
Toy Story come out.
Toy Story came out mid-late 90s, 95, 96 might have been the first one. I want to say like 95. Toy Story was great. I don't think they were owned. I don't think they were a part of Disney at first when they first came out. Pixar wasn't a part of Disney at that point.
Steve Jobs didn't sell it to him yet.
Yeah, not yet. Which a lot of people don't realize is that Steve Jobs was Pixar, owned Pixar
Steve
back in the day.
Jobs was the
Fun fact.
board of directors on Pixar.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm surprised even Disciple knew that. Normally that's like a Disney fun fact that people don't realize. That's
what I'm talking about, baby.
Yeah. That was one of those random like Disney things.
Yeah, I mean, and he gave it to him as a steal, like that, they were evaluated at like some amazing huge number, and like, oh, we'll just sell for like 20 billion or whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember the number, but it was super low. Yeah,
super low for how much money they made in production. Disney was absolutely floundering at the time when it came to their animated
movies. They had
movies.
nothing compared to what Pixar was doing.
They had no studio that could ever compete with them.
Yeah,
I don't know how I know this, but I must have read it somewhere. Maybe.
At some point you learned some of this.
Yeah.
For some whatever reason. But yeah, I would agree. Jungle Book. I always, because of my last name and all that, I always think of Baloo. But my favorite thing about Jungle Book, honestly, now as I've gotten older, is the "I Want to Be Like You" song, and the band that does it. Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, the people that do that song, they always play Epcot's Eat to the Beat, which is during Food and Wine Festival, which is like a 2-month-long festival at Disney. They have like in-park concerts during, and they have like 3 shows a night, like for multiple days. And Big Bad Voodoo Daddy closes out the show, and they're like a ska band, you know, and they sing, you know, they do that, but they're a Disney band, so they're always there at the end of the festival, and I always go and see them. And that's like one of my favorite things. That's one of the reasons I love the movie now as I'm older, because I'm like, hey, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, I want to be like you. And then I just sing and I'm happy. So
yeah,
anyway,
it's a great song.
Yeah. Random tangent. I don't know. We talked about it. We don't have Shredder here to bring us on to random tangents about Justin Bieber getting FaceTimed by.
Dude, that was weird.
Yeah.
He's like, "What? You didn't see that video of Justin Bieber?" And I'm like,
yeah, Justin.
No.
Yeah, Justin Bieber getting FaceTimed and him accepting it. And the girl had no clothes on or something, and she wasn't. Yeah. We you know, without Shredder here, we don't have the random tangents. God,
I miss him.
Yeah, poor him being sick. Yeah. So what was the last thing we talked about? Final Fantasy VII. Full circle.
7. Yeah.
So if you haven't gotten it, it is coming out. What you said, 2 days? So the 11th,
2 days, baby.
So wait,
Final Fantasy 7. It's the 10th.
The 10th. So yeah,
it's
well,
one day for you.
Yeah, and that's why I was clarifying. So
You're in the future.
Yeah. So yeah. Friday it is out.
Correct.
Next, another thing that D will be able to talk about a little bit. I don't know. Already talked about that. Last of Us, which I am heartbroken, of course. Postponed indefinitely as of right now.
Yep.
Which makes, you know, obviously with everything that's going on, but it is heartbreaking. Oh, why is that going? Ah, it should have been turned off. All right, we get to dance now for a minute. My bad, guys. Gosh.
I mean, I don't get to dance.
Yours isn't linked. It'll be a half-ass dance.
I need a drink in my hand. I want to do like Kdog. Well, I'm not even on this one. Fuck it.
See, and it randomly links it back to this. I forgot to turn this off at the beginning.
I like this dance better. Press the button, K.
Let me amuse myself for a second.
Back over here.
Anyways. There we go. Fix that really quick. I turned everything else off. I forgot to do that. Thank you, Deadly.
My stress testing is essential.
Well, for those of you guys that were here, you do remember I was half asleep at the beginning of the show. That's why I made coffee, because I could not think straight. But yes, Last of Us. Postponed indefinitely release date. Original release date was, I lost which side of this that I was on. We already talked about this.
May 29th.
May. I feel like I'm missing a page here. Why? Oh, no, there it is. May 29th was originally supposed to release. They postponed it indefinitely because of everything going on with COVID and that. They were talking about, they did comment on the fact about doing it just the digital releases. They didn't want to do that because they didn't want to short people who wanted the hard copy, which is, 1 in 20 these days.
That's bogus.
But that was their comment, was they wanted to do a full release, not just a digital release.
Yeah, I think what it is will be for like the limited editions. Like I bet they'll release like an edition where you get like a statue of Ellie or something.
Yeah. And I think that all the hard copies were, at least that was their statement was that's why they were not sticking to this date, was because with all the lockdowns and everything, having the actual physical copies and people going out and getting it, et cetera, this is what their statement was it was because of the physical copy of it. They didn't want to release just electronically. They also commented on the just releasing the demo that was supposed to be at East, which I have said would be nice if they released that. Their comment to that was, because they addressed that as well, to hold people over, they don't want to release that demo that was just supposed to be the press release that was supposed to be played at East, just because it is such an older copy of the game. To take the effort to even make that halfway decent as a demo isn't really worth their time. Long story short, is what they said.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah, makes sense. It's an older version of the game. Yeah, it's an older version of the game, older demo. A lot of changes have been made.
Yeah, no need to use resources there.
Yeah, I get it. It is disheartening, just simply because I really want to fucking play
sucks.
Last of Us.
I wanna
So
know what
fucking bad.
happens. I mean,
I want to
it's
play.
Such a good storyline.
I played
I'm
through The Last of Us 1 for the first time like the past couple of weeks ago, and I'm in anticipation.
Dude, I can't believe you waited this long to play Last of Us. It is
You
insane.
know what? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I first got the game, I got it day of release.
And you never played it?
Wow.
Straight onto the multiplayer.
The
That's
multiplayer
okay.
was
I mean-
pretty solid. I will say that. It for being such a great single player game, that multiplayer was very unique. I didn't play it much. I mean, obviously Vil probably played it more than I did, but it was a very unique, very cool take on a multiplayer for a game like that. I don't know. I liked it.
Oh, it was definitely. I really enjoyed it. Like the crafting system was still smooth in multiplayer, like it was single player. And I really do hope they put something into Last of Us 2, which is along the same sort of line.
So I'm calling it now, and I could be completely wrong, but I just want to say if I'm right,
Okay.
everybody out there, just from the trailers and the old videos, my guess is that Joel is dead. That is my guess for Last of Us 2, is that he is dead, and she's seeing him as like a ghost. That's my guess. Yeah, like it is post-traumatic and all that kind of stuff, because you see him in like certain like trailers and all that kind of thing. But that's my guess. Just from the stuff that I've seen, is that she is just seeing him as.
I've seen gameplay, and at the cutscene at the end, Joel kind of walks up to her.
But I mean, is he alive? Is he? I don't know. Like I'm just going off an old trailer.
He speaks to her. She says, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I wouldn't let you go through this on your own, would I?"
Well, I mean, you know, could still be the voices in the imagination in her head. I don't know. I'm just.
No, you see the face. You like the camera goes like up onto his face.
I think that's a misdirection. I think
I think so too. I don't know. My that's my guess just from the trailers and everything else. Like, and I've seen him in trailers.
Kdog,
I have. I think.
Hallucination.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that
with all the trauma and everything that she's gone through, is that this is her way of dealing with it.
Yeah, that's her moral compass.
Her best friend, right? This is how she gets through the entire next. Episode.
He did. He got killed. Yeah, he got killed by somebody, some group, and that's in one of the trailers she is just going off and like avenging. I can't remember which one it was, but one of like the story trailers is she's like fighting for something, and I think that's what it is. That they were the group that killed him, and she. Even though I think he's in the trailer, his voice is in the trailer if I remember correctly. This was older, like a year ago. I think he's in the trailer in some way. But I got the vibe. I'm like. I think he did. Like, I think she's like avenging him. Like that was the vibe. Like that was my first thought. So I could be completely wrong, and if I am, great. But I'm just saying that is my guess just from the couple trailers. And I remember thinking that like a year ago. So yeah. And that's and I agree saying that right. It's like I think it's the trauma.
I completely agree.
Yeah. That's my guess, but I cannot wait. It's unfortunate that it's getting delayed.
By the way, spoiler alert if you haven't played the game.
Well, I mean, it's not out yet, so I can't spoil anything. Well, no, neither of them die in the first one.
I mean, right.
Okay, I'm not going to put a spoiler alert on a 4-year-old, 5-year-old game. I'm just saying.
This is true.
Sorry, if you haven't played it.
VillanG just played it, okay.
Yeah, but still go play it, goddammit. Still go play it. It is worth it. Go play it right now. I can tell you everything that happens in that game, still worth playing.
Yeah.
7 years old? Oh, yeah, from the original?
I'm excited for the second one. I can't believe they delayed it.
Yeah.
And I can't believe they delayed it for that reason. Like, I thought maybe, like, it was because, voice acting wasn't complete. Like, there was something logistically that they couldn't overcome.
Yeah, no, at least that's what they said.
It wasn't because, they think they're going to get 10% less sales.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's what they said, but I could agree also that it's also weird that, the way that Sony and everything backed out of East and I get that, but I mean the same thing where I get them not releasing the demo, but there's no reason they couldn't have had a demo like that weekend, put up on PlayStation that weekend. Hey, you can't play it here, but it's on PlayStation for the week or whatever. Here's the demo that would have been at East. Like, I don't know. There seems to be maybe one little underlying thing. Maybe I don't know. Conspiracy theories abound.
Yeah, sure.
That's but I agree that it's kind of, they're gonna make the sales. It's really hard for me to think that 10%, because even if those physical copies, those special order folks, yeah, maybe you can't get it, but there's no reason they can't be like, hey, you'll be able to get it on June whatever.
Right.
You know, if you still order this, in 3 weeks.
Amazon and
yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
and get it shipped to you. Like I don't see them missing out on any of that.
Right. Makes sense.
So I agree that I think it's a little something else there to it. I think they might be using this as a little bit of a cover, but that's conspiracy theory a little bit.
That's the wrong show.
Yeah, exactly. Wrong. That's the after dark. We put on the 10 hats.
That's right.
that's on the other platform. That's just on the radio show. You have to tune in the radio dial to get to that show. That one's a little bit more amusing. But yeah, that's unfortunate that got released. Last couple things, game wise. Let's start with Apex. All these games. Yeah. Apex got an update. Modern Warfare got an update. Valorant effectively got an update because it's out. So the last 3 games, the game topics tonight. But Apex got an update. I had a thing. Where'd it go? Of all the stuff. So Apex update went live. And it's not a new season. It's the second half of the season, right? It's still the same battle pass, correct?
Still the same battle pass.
Still the same battle pass, but update went live, added duos permanently. Kings Canyon and World's Edge are both on
rotating
permanently. Yeah, rotating. And a bunch of new skins and all that. I couldn't find
and the night mode in Kings Canyon.
Oh, so that's rotating as well into the
that
standard
as well. So sometimes you get standard, sometimes you get night mode. Yeah.
There's a really cool video, but it's 10 minutes long, and I don't want to watch the whole 10-minute video.
We don't need to watch that.
But there are a lot of cool skins, a very cool trailer video for the new split, for lack of a better way of putting it.
It's the introduction of the Bloodhound, extended storyline. So I think that's really what that video is about.
Yeah, and it looks like, to me, they're taking notes from like Overwatch. How Overwatch had that lore and those story episodes. That's what I get from this. Those episodes outside of the game. That's what I see this as.
Absolutely.
I have not played it in like 3 weeks. Even before this update, I have not updated it. I mean, it might have auto-updated in the background. I don't know. I know nothing besides Valorant right now. That is all I can think about. I slept for only 3.5-4 hours last night. I couldn't sleep. I woke up. I dreamed about Valorant. I woke up. My first thought was about Valorant. I was like, shit, I might need to change my cross. Like, I still don't know exactly how I want to have my crosshairs in the fucking game. I'm still tweaking them a little bit here and there. Like, it's, I don't know, man. I don't know. But we're not talking about that right now. Apex. We'll get to Valorant in a second. Apex. You were playing it earlier, D. What has changed that you like? I wish, did I have the link? Did I send it in Discord? There was like damage changes. Let me see.
There were some damage changes.
Yeah,
there were some
updates.
modifications to some of the characters, to Revenant. There were some mods to Revenant.
Yeah, the link I
so now he's actually a viable character. So I mean that's really good. So they've done a lot of balancing between that.
Because I saw it was like
they have of course the new skin for Bloodhound. There's the new event for Bloodhound. Not only Bloodhound, but the majority of the things are Bloodhound related.
Yeah, I saw that. Some cool news. Okay, here we go. I pulled up Reddit because, unlike Modern Warfare, which we'll get to in a second, Apex at least has a decent social media manager that links all this kind of stuff, and they get this shit on Reddit.
Yes.
Fun fact about Modern Warfare, guys, I mentioned this other before. You can go on the Modern Warfare website and Call of Duty and on the Reddit and everything else and all that, and the update and patch notes is like 2.5 months out of date. It's fucking annoying when somebody is trying to talk and realize what these patch notes are. Like, It's fucking annoying. As somebody who, I love patch notes. I live off of patch notes. Anytime there's an update for a game that I play, I go and read the patch notes because I want to know what the changes are. I want to know what shifts in meta and all that kind of stuff. I am 110% big on that. But yeah, no, some of the new skins, which I don't think I hear that one's cool. But there,
one new skin right there.
There was a couple really cool ones I saw, just in other events and that. But balance changes wise, G7 reduced headshot scale damage from 2.0 to 1.75. Leg shot reduced as well, and reduced projectile speed. So they nerfed back down the G7 a little bit.
Which was needed. This was a needed debuff to the G7.
Yeah, it had gotten buffed quite a bit before. I can't remember. Yeah. Vil, did you play a lot of Apex or no?
I did for a good while, yes.
I couldn't remember if you were playing Apex or I know you were playing Warfare and all. I couldn't remember if you were playing Apex. And that
Apex was a fun one, but like I know it's not really a game where you could have solos because it's meant to be like a team game with like the abilities and stuff like comboing them together, but
yeah,
it's just not my sort of game where there isn't like a solos. I like to play like Warzone where I can just like hop in there quickly, have a quick like solo game. It's I don't know. Like sometimes I like to play solo, but like if I was to play a team game, it probably would be Apex for a battle royale.
Yeah. And they did actually comment on that in a couple of the articles that I did see. I don't know if it was social media manager or one of the developers, one of the head people did comment that they probably will not have, as of right now, there is no plan to bring back or even to institute solos into the game for those of you guys that are still holding out for them. Yeah. Which makes sense. It's not a game... Yeah, it's not a game geared around having solos, and I get that. It is a team, you know, a lot of abilities are geared off of team play, even if it's duos. Now they have duos, but even still, some characters and legends are just not viable because they are support legends and all that. Like, I get it. So for if you want solos in Apex, it's not a thing. It's not happening. Don't keep asking. Is pretty much what they said. L-Star. So L-Star will reset its view kick pattern much more quickly to avoid horizontal recoil, feeling like it goes in an unpredictable direction while feathering the trigger. So it's going to reset a little bit faster when you do burst fire kind of thing. They also reduce time before overheat, so they kind of give it a small little nerf. So 2.4 to 2.2, or down to 23 shots instead of 25 shots for an overheat if you're just full autoing it. A nice buff here with the recent changes to shields. The Kraber increased headshot damage multiplier from 2.05 to 3.0. What that means is that it should always down a target with a headshot. The Kraber, as it should, because it's a care drop package. It's, unique weapon. If it's a headshot, you should get it down. Even if they're fortified, Gibby. So even if they take less damage, and even if they have the level 3 helmet and Evo shield, it still is a down. So even if you have those OP characters that take 10% or whatever less damage, that have the Evo shield, which is now stronger than, a purple shield and a level 3 helmet, you still will get it down. And that's what they're doing. They wanted to make this viable to get those headshots and still work, which makes sense. Like I said, it's a care package weapon. I am not upset about that,
Yeah.
Just for headshots, which is still a skill shot.
Should be a one shot down.
Yeah, for a headshot. Yeah, exactly. And I get like body shot, okay, breaking arm or whatever, but if you get a headshot with a Kraber, it should be a down.
It should be a down.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, so I'm not upset about that. They're just tweaking it. Since other tweaks to the rest of the game, they're just accommodating, bringing the Kraber up to speed with that.
Because since the Evo shield went in, I guess they did need to up it for sure.
Yeah.
Those red Evo shields are freaking a pain when you go up against them, man. Even though it's only 25 more, man, it makes a difference.
Yeah, 25 is, 2-3 shots with an R99 and everything else.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. I shred red shields.
Reduced ammo, sniper ammo. Reduced ammo per pickup from 10 to 8. And reduced inventory stack size from 20 to 16. So a small nerf to sniper ammo. To me, I haven't played it in a couple days, like I said. But since D and you have, I don't know if you run sniper that much. That doesn't seem like much of a nerf to me.
Nope.
I
It
feel
was
like
barely noticeable.
yeah, because I feel like you were like at least me when I was running sniper, I felt like I had an abundance of sniper ammo. It was stacks of 20. Two stack, you got 40. Like it's a lot. Like I feel like that's not a. Maybe it wasn't a needed nerf.
It was perfectly fine, especially when you're going from something like a shotgun where it stacks in like what 4 or 6 or something stupid.
Yeah.
I mean it's.
It is what it is.
In line.
Yeah, I don't know that it's a needed nerf, but it's not a bad nerf. It's just
the problem is it's gonna hurt those other weapons like the other sniper rifles that suck. Like what's that one? The new one the Sentinel. Right. So the Sentinel's still good, but it's still not a viable sniper rifle.
I still don't like the Sentinel. I think that the Sentinel.
I like the way it shoots. I just don't think any type of competitive as far as stats, it's not a viable weapon.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
And I agree. I don't think that it's worth the pickup over the longbow for the time difference of landing the shots and the damage difference and all that.
And the triple take is actually a better choice.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because then short range, I mean, it's a beast.
Yeah.
You're basically shooting a shotgun. So I mean, it's
best shotgun early game. Well, not anymore. The Peacekeeper is so fucking strong these days. It's still they need a fucking. But I mean, the triple take is a great shotgun early game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Low profile limb shots on low profile legends now deal as much damage as body shots, which is nice. So
absolutely.
those wraiths, those things like that, those ones that are hard to hit for whatever reason, limb shots did less damage to them. Even though they were hard to hit, they still did less damage to them. Now, a limb shot, you tag them in the arm, they're going to take as much damage because they're hard to hit, which makes sense. They're bringing them back on scale.
Yeah.
Nerfing those, wraith mains, that have been playing since day one, those streamers down, and which is nice. Revenant gets buffs. Player feedback that Revenant wasn't feeling viable enough has been loud and clear, and game data showed the same. Yeah, because he was fucking terrible. Our goal is to bring his effectiveness up to the parity with other legends, so you're going to release a new character. Silence. Increased duration of the silence effect from 10 to 20 seconds, which is huge. That's double. It's fucking huge. Silence now disables Gibraltar's gun shield.
Nice.
That's solid.
Like
That's solid. I want somebody to run. Yeah, that right there makes me go, hey, Revenant, let's come play. 20 seconds of no gun shield from Gibby.
Huge.
That's huge.
Huge, bro.
Like just those two right there make me go, okay.
Stopped.
Yeah, exactly. I would have been like, all right, I'm good.
And now Silence has 2 charges, so he gets 2 freaking shots to hit your ass. Oh my god.
2 shots and increase the duration of the AoE from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. So if you walk into it.
So out of the 3 of us, who's going to give Revenant another go? I am.
I mean, I would be willing to try him again. I said when he first came out that I didn't like him.
That I get him now because I forgot to choose my character.
I said that right there makes him so much more viable, because I said when he first came out he was not viable. I said that from day fucking one, like the pre-release for it. I said it in the web show. I was like, he is not, nothing that he has is worthwhile that makes him worth choosing. I know there are some people that I am friends with that run him and main him. I did not see him as a viable character that is worth choosing anybody else in the game. Now I could see that he can be viable.
Yeah, he's gonna be a beast, bro.
Yeah, he can definitely be solid now. But before, I didn't see the point of picking him
the death totem,
over any other character. Every other character was way more viable than him, and I would argue that tenfold. And I have stated it many times.
And, I mean, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, exactly. And they even said that, like, player feedback, it's there. They even said the game data has showed the same. It was there, and I said it before he went live, and I stood by it. It's there, and it's same with Octane. I will say Octane is hard to be viable. If you have fun playing the guys and you like playing Revenant, that's different than them being viable. Am I going to pick Octane in ranked? Probably not, because he's not viable. That's the difference. There are better people to pick, realistically.
Exactly.
Death Totem characters are now respawned with 50 health or whatever health they had when they activated it, if lower, instead of 1. Once again, making him way more viable. Because my argument was, what is the point of rushing in with full shield, with, you know, full health, and, you know, whatever, but you have 100 health, you rush in, you die, so now you have 101 health when you come back, and you're trying to heal when you're coming back out of it. You can't heal while you're in Death Totem, and now they know exactly where you are. I just never saw the point of it before. And rushing, like, I'd rather rush in with 200 health and get a down than rush in with 100 health, come back, have them, you know, I never saw the point of it before. Now, you respawn with 50 health. 10 times better. Now, Death Totem is viable. They did remove low profile from him, though. So now he does not get a... or now, well, that's also a buff as well. Sorry, the other way around. So he does not have low profile anymore, so you also don't get a damage buff when attacking him anymore.
Correct.
That one would be the only one that I could see being arguable. That maybe that's a little too much. Because he does have a small hitbox.
The 2 charges of silence are also too much.
This right here, 2 charges of silence is a lot. I mean,
especially with the duration of the
with
area
20
effect.
seconds with everything else.
Dude, I mean, it's huge. This is huge. I mean, so like, you know, Pyro Monkey, he says this is his main.
Yeah.
I mean, he is going to become ultra buff now with this change. I mean, you can absolutely decimate a group that revolves around a Gibraltar shield.
Yep.
Right. I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Like Rev right now is almost a hard counter to Gibby.
Yes.
You throw a Death Totem on, you go in, you throw an ability in silence. That's 20 seconds. Even if you die, you're coming back with 50 health and your shields, and you guys rush in. You know you have 20 seconds. That's a long fucking time. It's a long fucking time.
People that have used the Death Totem appropriately, but it's what, 1 in 10.
Yeah, it's
most of the time the people that use it, I'm like, oh, easy kill.
Yep, exactly, and that's the thing.
You push hard.
Yeah.
You push hard, burn them down, and then you know, then you hear them back there.
You're back there. They're healing, and the med pack takes longer than a shield back.
Takes forever.
So the med pack takes long. They're trying to med up because they only have 101 health at most. It's like I said, it's so also changes, but Revenant, hands down, viable, nice, good to see, good to see. Lifeline. New secondary passive instead of her faster healing ability. I assume that's the one that's replacing. I could be wrong, but I assume that it's replacing the what other one would it be replacing? What's her other
I don't know. That's
passive?
a good question.
I assume that's the one that is placing. It doesn't say, but chat, correct me if I'm wrong. But I mean, that's her faster healing. I assume that's replacing that.
Yeah.
Lifeline
it's
can
in addition to her faster heals.
Or okay, it's in addition. So new secondary. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. So Lifeline can access secret compartments with more loot on blue bins. So that's why they have this right here. So blue bins, she gets extra.
Yeah. Yeah, it shoots out a little compartment that has 2 to 3 extra items.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge.
Blue bins are found randomly, replacing order bins. These rare bins will have a secondary compartment that only Lifeline can open. Secondary compartment will always contain some mixture of health items, weapons, attachments, knockdown shields. So it's definitely a Lifeline geared kit.
Right, but always leave the blue open for your Lifeline if you run one in your squad. I mean, and that only makes sense.
Yeah. Now, if a blue, my question is, if a blue is open, if I'm Lifeline, if another squad has opened it,
she has to be the person that opens
see, now I think that would be cool though. If I'm running and I'm Lifeline and I see that there's a blue that's been opened,
open it a second
I would be able to open that compartment after another squad.
Iro says you can. Really?
See, I don't know. I'd be curious about that. That's my first thought, just reading it. That is my first thought. Like if I'm running behind, I see a blue bin, I notice obviously it hasn't been looted.
Always contain a mixture of these components. So yeah, I mean that's.
Yeah, if I'm running anything, I see a blue. I need a health pack. Yeah, just the extra loot part. If I'm able to open up and Jimmy rig that, that extra compartment right there, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know if that's a thing. Half a chat says yes, half a chat says no. I don't have an official answer. I haven't played. So
I don't play Lifeline. I mean, I played.
I play Lifeline here and there, but I haven't in a minute played the game. Wraith. Portals will now disappear after 4 seconds if both ends are outside the circle. This change was made to combat players exploiting the portal to avoid taking damage outside the ring. So to avoid you just hopping back and forth.
Yeah, hopping back and forth.
While outside the ring.
Interesting.
Which is nice, you know. I love seeing all these nerfs to Wraith because she was so OP when the game came out. And just slowly but surely they have been like, yeah, we need to, yeah. And it amuses me because also I like hearing the Wraith mains bitch. And it's like, you had the most OP character in the game. Come on.
For real.
Vil, who was your main back in the day?
Bangalore was my main back in the day.
Bangalore?
A little bit of Pathfinder, but generally, I'd just like to grab a digi threat, pop some smokes out, and just start spraying through.
And then just run and gun. Dude, her running and hip fire, and if you don't have the smoke, like, because she has that speed.
Her double time, that's huge. When you're getting shot at, you start to run at double the speed that you would normally go at.
Yeah. Yep. That is really nice.
Evo armor. Reduce the amount of damage taken to require to evolve. So blue armor is, essentially making it blue. You only need 75 to get there. To get to purple, you only need 150 damage. Red armor damage requirement is only 400 damage now. So they reduced it.
This is why I saw so much red armor today. Holy shit.
Yeah. It's 100 less to get to red.
That's pretty substantial.
Kings Canyon. Increase the total amount of loot items that spawn on the map, which is good because Kings Canyon, it
needed this.
It needed it because, that's the nostalgia thing for the map. But the other factor that I always told people, the reason why Kings Canyon, it always had a loot issue. But it wasn't as apparent because there weren't as many items in the game. Now there are so many more items. So you figure now there's sniper ammo, which wasn't there before. There's different guns, Sentinel and things like that. So that's a lot of extra, even just the loot spawns. That's a lot of extra things. There's now Evo shields. There's now this. There's now that. So all of those are taking up those spawns that weren't there in Kings Canyon. So Kings Canyon was sparse in a lot of areas to begin with.
Yeah.
Now with all these extra things, it felt like you were, picking bare bones, you were going into the final circle with maybe blue armor, so it's nice that they increased the total amount of loot items across the map, and that's just to make it viable, now. Random bug fixes, all that kind of stuff. I guess we can go through them. Scripting errors, disconnections. I don't see anything that's really hugely viable.
Like, what, 40% reduction to go from a white Evo to red.
Yeah.
From yesterday to today.
Yeah,
that's
a lot easier to get there. And a lot of people can get 650 damage that couldn't get 900.
Yeah, one encounter, two encounters.
Fix some cases where circle would end in a bad or invalid location, which is nice.
Let's hope it really fixes it though, because that did happen pretty frequently.
Interesting. Fix a bug where cases where Revenant places ult death totem on the train. Players respawn to it while on the train. The train is moving. The player could be respawned somewhere else on the map or even off the map. I really wish that had happened to me, just because that would have been great content. I would have been like, what the fuck is going on? Energy charge for the Sentinel sniper rifle can now be canceled with Y or triangle button. All right. That's it for Apex.
Yeah.
That's it.
Apex.
Epics.
I like it. I still dig Apex. It's still one of my favorite games.
I still think I like Apex better than Warzone.
Absolutely. Especially with the changes, which is next, right?
I do want to check it out. Warzone, My dislikes for Warzone are more just the way the game plays. I like the idea a lot. I like a lot of things that they do, but things like footsteps, things like there's just a lot of shit that annoys me about the fucking game. And also the fact that it's like 12 tick fucking servers that they're using. I get shot like when I've been around a corner for a full second, and then the death cam shows me still out in the open. You know, that kind of shit drives me nuts. Oh, and the fucking hackers that they still have yet to even address on PC.
Hashtag GG.
Yay, COD.
Yeah.
Anyways.
They don't even have anti-cheatware, do they?
They
In
have
COD?
like, I think they have like very basic. Like it's not even, I don't even remember which program it is. It's something very basic. It's
shit. Okay.
It's,
Well,
yeah, it's
like not having any. 'cause
yeah,
there's
it's
so
yeah,
freaking
exactly.
many.
It's one of those that it's like, hey, people have been getting around this program for so long that they know exactly how to get around it. Like it's one of those, I can't even remember which one it is, but it's terrible. It's terrible. It's so bad. The cheaters, and they know that they can get away with it. And right now they are, you know, I really cannot wait for them to institute something like we talked about like a couple of shows ago, like not just the IP bans, but just banning people like from the game and their software as a whole, like the accounts and everything. I just want to see that to start. You know, I'm tired of that. Would bring me back. And like I saw, like Cabby's tweet was a good thing, and I agree. Like, and he shared that, and there's plenty of people who have done that. That's like, this is especially so. There is, for those of you guys that don't realize, there is cross-plat, obviously, and cross-plat is mandatory on Warzone. But that being said, PC gamers will always predominantly get paired with PC gamers and like Xbox and PS4, et cetera, et cetera. So even though cross-plat is enabled, it will do that, but it will cycle you into lobbies with more Xbox players if you're playing on Xbox. Now, if you're playing with other people on PC, all that goes out the window. But if you're a squad of 3 playing Xbox, you will be playing up against mostly Xbox people. It will prioritize that. So if you're on Xbox,
but if you get even a one PC player
that's hacking. Oh yeah, no, I 100% get it. I'm just saying if you're on Xbox, you may not have realized it nearly as much as us on PC. Like, and I've seen it, and I've just been. It's just, you know, and all the clips, and that's what we deal with. That's why some people are, you know, are like, oh, well, you know, it might not be as bad, just get good. And that's what, like, Cabby's tweet I remember saying, and he, like, showed it, and he's like, this is what we're dealing with. You know, this is what happens on PC. It may not be as prevalent on Xbox because you don't see it as much, but on PC, we're seeing it every match, almost, you know, somebody.
Every match.
You know, and it's just, there's nothing in place right now. Once again, like I said, Modern Warfare and Call of Duty in and of itself does not have fucking patch notes anywhere. I literally have to go to fucking random bullshit websites to find fucking patch notes for this goddamn game. I'm going to do one more because I actually had a better one than the one that I linked. Let me see if I can find. I did see
Patch note rant.
It just drives me nuts. How are you going to have your actual website? Like, I can pull up, like, hold on, like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare right now. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. There is a patch notes section of their website. I have looked at it before. Modern Warfare.
Is it up to date? Probably not.
Nope, not at fucking all. The last one was, where is it? Because I did it last week. Last update that they had. What was it, last week or 2 weeks ago? I looked at it, and the last update was like in fucking February, and I was like, what the fuck? News, Modern Warfare.
Weekly updates too.
I don't know where it is right now. I'm trying to find it. Hold on, let's see. Was it under support? Nope. Because I remember I was like, why is your actual website? I get if Reddit isn't up to date or other random sites aren't up to date with their patch notes, but if your own fucking website on Activision is not up to date with your patch notes, get a better social media person. Get a better content manager. Get a. You know,
it's actually the release manager.
Yeah, whichever.
Release, that would be the person.
Well, they need to get a better one.
I used to do that job.
Yeah,
so.
well, there you go. Get on Activision. Send them an email. Be like, hey, you realize your release manager is falling behind, right? That None of these updates are on there. Just send them a nice little email. Be like, and here's my resume. Fun fact.
That might work. You never know.
I'm just gonna load up the one that I had that has it. So, Modern Warfare also dropped an update, and I think all of these, I'm not saying that it's because Valorant was coming out. These were probably already slated, but the fact that all this shit drops the same day that Valorant came out into beta, you know, I'm not saying.
I don't know.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that.
I think you're giving them too much credit for intelligence.
Yeah, that could be too. But I think it's funny that all these drop like the same day as Valorant. But so season 3 updates. Season 3 went live. The roadmap is live, which I have here. Multiplayer updates, new multiplayer maps, 3 new maps. Sawmill, Incursion, and Backlot. Backlot is a remake of the setting from Call of Duty 4. Yep. Will be 5th remastered map. Sawmill is a brand new map and not a remake people thought there was going to be. And Incursion is basically a section off area of the already existing Ania Palace map, which I can't remember which one that is because I didn't play enough multiplayer to really remember what that is. But the Ania, the Palace map, the Incursion is just the part of it. So it's a small little, makes it a 6v6, small enough to play 6v6. New weapons. They added an SKS. Lightweight, for those of you guys not familiar, lightweight semi-auto carbine. This is, I'm reading the actual description of what it says about the gun. Hard-hitting, agile, Soviet-style marksman rifle, focusing on utility over accuracy. It's helped it stand the test of time. Flaunts a faster fire rate than other weapons in its class, but a carefully placed round will eliminate the need for follow-up shots. I always like the SKS in pub, so, I mean, I don't mind it. Renetti is a well-rounded semi-auto 9mm pistol. Has a 3-round burst attachment. Sidearm excels in close-range combat, but can be kitted for a variety of situations. Those are the only ones. Both these weapons will be free for players to unlock by leveling up the non-paid version of the Battle Pass, and each one having a designated tier that will need to be reached. Furthermore, it appears that both guns will be also added to the default loot pool in Warzone, so people will have a chance to pick them up off the floor. I don't know if anybody in chat has played Warzone, if they've found the SKS or the Renetti, but that should be a thing, is what I'm reading. Roadmap above has also teased another new weapon that will be released at some point during the season. Looks like an LMG. All right, chat looks like they haven't seen it yet, but that's what it's saying. What's new on Warzone? Article. Okay, I guess I have to read this a little bit. All right, I'm just going. Hold on, let me read through and make sure. Yeah, biggest news. Okay, biggest news, and we talked about this last night, is new squads playlist. It's quads. No more trios. It's now 4-man squads. Yep. Which is huge.
That's huge. I mean, don't you think they should have at least tried this out with a limited time? You know, quads is much better, is it? I mean, I haven't played it yet, but I mean, it was already a shit show.
Yeah, like trios. I don't think they should have just taken that out.
Like I said, and I think so. None of us have played it yet. Chat's saying that it's better. I'm not saying either way. Whether it's better or worse, because I haven't played it. But I think maybe before taking it out all the way, maybe run the limited time mode of quads.
Right. I mean, learn from other people in the industry and see how that data is actually very valuable to see how people are taking the changes to the game.
Yeah.
And do it limited time modes. I mean, I feel like Apex has really, shined in that manner.
Mm-hmm.
They introduce something small to you for a week, 3 days, 4 days, and they pull it out. It's like, oh, I wanted that, I love that, but just making these wild changes, I feel like is just so harsh.
No, I haven't.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the second thing that I was about to bring up is that they did change the cost of loadout drops again. So they have increased it. We talked about this multiple times. The new cost is set to 10,000. That being said, you just switched to quads. You know how much easier now it is to get $10,000 between 4 people?
Right.
So this, I don't feel like, to me, them changing the loadout drop price does not. They just went, okay. Yeah, exactly. They just went, okay, we're adding a person, so we increase that. So I still thought the loadout drive, this is not, to me, this is not an increase in loadout drop price. This is just, they're making it, they added 1,500 for an extra person. I still think loadout drops need a price increase. Because now, I mean, I think it's still, you just added another person. Another person can easily get $1,500 or $2,000 running around in loot. Hands down. So I think this is still.
I mean, if they reduce the amount of money that's out there and they didn't drop 2,500 stacks.
You're going around picking up 1,600 and all that.
500 was the max that you could get from a loot crate. I mean, that makes sense.
That would be huge.
Right, because then that's 20 loot crates you'd have to open up, and if they had money,
or loot people.
But I mean,
And that's always my thing. And I have said I get that the loadouts are a core thing that they're banking on in this, but it seems that everybody 2 minutes into the game has their loadouts and is done looting. There's no reason to loot anymore after that.
Right.
I need armor plates.
Second loadout because you wanted your ghost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right? My first loadout is my dual wield. My second loadout is my ghost, which normally the second loadout I get from a care package, so I don't even need it there. I'm spending all my money on, a self revive and everything else. Like,
yeah. And I do agree. Blackout was a 4-man team, but Blackout was much slower. I felt like the map was larger for the amount of people. And did they increase the amount of people as well? Because it was 150. Is it now 200?
I do not see that. I think it's still 150. I don't see any changes.
It's still 150. So they've reduced the amount of teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. As long as they didn't I remember reading that they were going to increase the servers up to 200 people. I mean, I
remember reading that. I do remember reading that too.
Yeah. And it's like, I already have a hard enough time with
servers are already on fire as is.
And I agree with that as well. Then there's the technical aspect of it where it's like, this is just a bad decision.
Yeah, like, I already get shot when I'm 10 feet behind the wall anyways from somebody playing from over in fucking Kdog, Egypt somewhere who has 200 ping. Like, I already get killed by them as is. With shitty servers. Don't add another 50 fucking people playing from around the world into the goddamn server.
And I agree. I think chat hit it on the nose. I think that they should completely remove loadouts from this game. That should be a separate mode if that's the type of shit you want. But I don't think loadouts should be a part of it. I think it should be looted weapons, and that should be if they want to keep their tiered system. I like the attachments, the ways of the past, where you got a gun and you put attachments on it and you leveled up your gun that way. Versus getting the colored tiers. See,
I like them trying to do different things. I like, I don't know if I like it better or worse. I like them trying to do different things. I like the attachments already being on the gun. It is simple. It is streamlined. I don't have to worry about, like in Blackout or Apex, the attachments and all that. I would say you wanna go common ground. Get rid of buying loadouts.
Yeah.
You have to get it from a drop. Now, the drops that are in-game are a lot more contested. It makes it an actual care drop that means something. Now, everybody is rushing those drops. Get rid of them as a buying thing whatsoever. Yeah. Now you're buying just self-revives, the care packages, etc. And I think loadouts is something that makes it COD BR. And I like that I've always said that I like that this is a COD BR. Blackout felt like a BR made by COD people. This feels like a COD BR. I like the loadouts, personally. But I agree that the way that they are right now, they're too common, they're too this and that. But yeah, make it rare. Make it so that way the care packages in game are the only loadout drops. Or if you want a loadout, you have to go fight for it with 4 other teams around you. I think they, you know, chat saying, you know, lady, I think they need to get rid of the gulag earlier. If you, now that being said, if you die, maybe if gulag's closed and you haven't died yet, you automatically get a self revive. Maybe something like that. Because I mean, it is cool that, you know, you're punishing people who have actually stayed alive, you know, for that long, and I get that argument. So maybe there could be a common ground thing, but I think the gulag is open way too late into the game.
Yeah, it should be an early game thing. It should be like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, first like always, or maybe yeah, if you get past that, everybody who survives without dying until the gulag closes, you get $2,000 or something. You know, it's like, hey, you didn't die. Here's $2K. You know, it's definitely. I think, like I said, I really believe the BR has a lot of potential. It has a lot of good ideas. It's plagued by it being COD. As bad as that sounds, it's plagued by COD being COD, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, I think get rid of the gulag after the first circle. I think that's essential.
I'd be okay with second, but yeah, give you know, close it off early. Give everybody who hasn't died, give them some money or give them, you know, something.
Because I almost feel like it gives the effect of, oh, I don't have to be careful. I can just like run in. I'll be able to get my respawn from the gulag. Whereas if, like, let's say you drop, you die instantly because you've had a bad drop or whatever. There's loads of people dropping where you're dropping. You've died. You've got your gulag. You come back. You're given that second chance. But let's say as soon as that like circle's gone, that first circle, if you get rid of the gulag, it's going to put like a different aspect. It's going to give you like a proper battle royale aspect.
It's going to feel like a real battle royale, and I agree. The gulag, yeah, the gulag lasts way too long, and I said that from the get-go. It lasts way too long into the match, way too long.
Yeah, and then there's also the fact that there is so much money in the game that you can bring someone back from the same station 6 different times.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, that's why if you
that needs to change.
Yeah, well, if you survive now, close gulag sooner, make revives maybe a little bit more, maybe make them 5,500 or whatever. But like I said,
you can only respawn the same person at the station one time.
Yeah,
just once. Right? You can do both teammates or all 3 teammates. But you can only do it at that station once. So that forces you to move where you're camping, or you know, if you're on the toilet or wherever the hell you are.
Yeah. Yeah, only use every buy station can only revive somebody once or whatever.
Yeah.
The self revives, in my opinion, need something.
Something.
I don't know what it is.
Too easy to get off. Unless you're in the storm, right? Yeah. And then it's like you get it off just in time to get back up to die.
Yeah.
Unless you have that mask.
Yeah. A fucking mask. I fucking hate that thing.
They fixed the mask animation.
I did read that. Like, how did they
watching some streamers
fix it though?
Nope. They're saying nope, but I was watching someone stream, and it like he was aimed down sights, and it didn't like
pull him out of it.
Animation. Yeah, it didn't pull him out of it. He was aimed down sights the entire time.
I think it's when you're in, like, going out, there was the error or something like that is what they fixed. I don't remember the exact wording of it. It's not here. I think it was with the last patch they did fix that. It was the last patch. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little.
Because I watched someone. He had the face mask. It was 1v1. It was quad, or 3v3s or whatever. And he sat in the storm because he knew this guy. He knew where he was. So he sat in the final circle. You know, it was ticking fast, but the guy ended up having to run in front of him, and he was able to take him out. And the animation, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I mean, it looked.
I know that.
Better.
Yeah, they tweaked it somehow to make it better. I don't know if it's better 110%. I'll probably still bitch about it, but you know, that's what I do. That's why I have a web show where I get to rant. This is. I mean, and I still rant the rest of the week too, but now I have an actual place to let it out every week. This is my venting.
Yeah.
Battle Pass for Season 3. Purchasing a lock up to 100 tiers of new content gives you 1,300 Call of Duty points, a legendary operator skin, epic operator skins, legendary weapon blueprints, epic weapon blueprints. I can talk. Rare blueprints. XP and weapon tokens, and more. Costs 2,400 tokens.
I will never buy one of your battle passes until you put Deadpool in it.
Spoken as a person who just bought it for Fortnite. There you go. There you go, Activision.
I'd buy a Fortnite battle passes, but you know, COD, unless they gave me those points for free when I bought the game, I don't spend a damn dime on them. There's nothing that makes me want to buy their stuff. Only like Blackout, I bought a few, right? Like I wanted the bunny costume or whatever, so I could just troll people. But you know, there's nothing, there's no COD that's made me want to spend money on it. It really just pisses me off because it feels like pay to win, because they actually give you guns in those loadout drops.
Yeah, it annoys me as well. Blueprints,
yeah, that pisses me off.
Yeah, and there was an article, I didn't pull it up, but that Tim the Tatman ran into actually recently, since they added the Eber into Warzone, it's become more prevalent. And if you have also people putting it in their loadout, if you have one of the certain blueprints for it, it gives extra headshot damage, which is something that shouldn't be a thing with the blueprints, with the mods. Like, nothing else has this, but that blueprint for the Eber, it's like a legendary blueprint, has extra headshot damage. So this is almost semi-auto fast-firing fucking sniper marksman rifle that is one-shotting people with headshots.
I was watching Tim do it.
Yeah,
it was freaking amazing.
It is.
I was like, how can I get this? Oh, you have to pay for it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's exactly what pay to win means.
Yep, and that's case in point.
Thank you, Activision.
Yeah. I'm reading through the bugs and all that, just double checking. It's just normal bug fixes. I don't see anything that's huge. Warzone wise, we now tell you how far away you are from your teammates while in a match. You're good. Fix for the gas mask animation. Various exploit fixes. Fix for a bug where players were unable to revive teammates. Fix a bug where players could be killed by vehicles without being near the player. That was huge. Fixed an issue that could display the incorrect rank. And fixed a bug where players could become invincible if they become down while switching seats in a vehicle. While spectating a player in Gulag, the option to redeploy would appear on screen even though they cannot be redeployed. It has been fixed. And fixed a bug where place a shield turret on a teammate could kill them. Got it. There we go. That's all that stuff. Disciple just left.
Good stuff.
There we go. Yeah. That's all that.
I think that was because of what Cheating Death said. He said, Disciple looked like Grimace.
Oh.
Yeah, McDonald's thing.
He's like, fuck this shit. I'm out.
God damn it, Cheating Death.
It's okay. It's okay. Discible's going to get angry when we talk about it. So, last topic for everybody. Yeah, no. For those of you guys that did not see, if you're still under that rock that we talked about earlier, Valorant came out yesterday, and I'm gonna be going and playing it. Disciple doesn't have a code, so we'll let him tuck his daughter in all that. Vil, I'll let you comment first. First thoughts.
First thoughts. Very CS feeling. I'm not sure what CS it's more like. People have been saying it's like more like 1.6. Some people have been saying it's more like Go. I say it just feels a bit like CS. Shooting, it's like CS. The accuracy of the weapons is determined on your movement as well as your aiming. So this is a highly like skilled shooter. Like, there's going to be big skill gaps due to the abilities and due to the way the shooting works. Weapons have like different types of firing, unlike Counter-Strike, so that's like a different sort of thing they've like put into it. So you have like your left click, which is your normal fire, you're just shooting the weapon, but then you've got your right click, which is some weapons it aims down sights, and the weapon can actually react different. Like, some it would like turn into a 3 burst, some it would just like shoot slow but be more accurate. So yeah, there's a lot of different factors in the game which makes it a very unique experience compared to what I've actually tried before on like a competitive shooter. And I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it.
I guess time with Valorant without me.
Disciple, what are your thoughts on Valorant so far?
Dude, it looks amazing. Looks sweaty. I really want to play it.
As I said, I'm like, we can start about it, you know, because he hasn't gotten a chance to play it yet. We can start talking.
Yeah. People play it.
No.
Poor D. No, I agree.
Okay.
My first thoughts from all the trailers, I thought it was going to be more CS than Overwatch, and honestly, after playing it for a day and a half, I'd say it's 50-50. I was saying it looked like it was going to be 2/3 CS, 3/4 CS, 1/4 Overwatch. The abilities are huge in this game. They really are.
Huge.
And knowing how to use them and knowing the other characters' abilities and how they react, even knowing how many they have, things like that. Because if I see that Homeboy has already tried to flash once or twice, I know he only has maybe one left. Like, the abilities, I'd say it's 50-50. Definitely landing your shots at the end of the day. CSGO style is the predominant. But the abilities have a lot more of an impact than I thought they were going to.
Right.
But
the team play and having the communication, it seems key.
It really is.
Even if you put it in the right place, if you're not communicating with your team that you're going to be putting it there, you may have just gotten them killed.
She always gets upset if I don't communicate where I'm putting it. It's you always got to talk them through it. Otherwise, you know, you got to communicate. Communication is key.
Okay, breathe. It's coming.
We're going to plant B. All right, hun? We're planting B. But no, the 3-plant map, I think, is really cool. That's one of my favorite maps because it's something different, having 3 different areas in A, B, and C. I love that.
It's confusing to me at the time being because I'm not used to it. Like earlier, I was like trying to call out to my teammates, and I was like, I'm rotating, and there was like, what bomb site? I was like, oh shit, I have to specify because there's 3 bomb sites.
Yeah, it's like B. Sure. Learning the call outs is weird because especially on that 3 map, like B short. Like and it's hard to I can't look at I need to watch and actually look at a map and see what the labels are because I can't be constantly looking at my mini map to see where I'm at and what it's called. Like I need to actually learn it. But if I'm in a match, I'm not able to do that. But be short, I feel like CS there was definitely a lot more designated this is short, this is long, and it was easy to tell. They may have names in Valorant, but it's right now, at least as it's first starting out, I don't feel like short is not really short. It's more like, okay, A short is kind of shorter, but it's more, it goes down into the little tunnel and you have to go this way. A long is just, you're not going in a tunnel.
When I watch you guys playing it and I hear you guys call outs, it means nothing to me because I don't know where the hell that is.
And I
half the time you guys don't go to the place that they're calling out anyways. You're like, okay, I know a guy's there, so I'm gonna hug this corner instead. So it's it's so confusing being a viewer. I've
already seen those people that have already started to figure out the angles and the spots, like those CS players that know the angles and all. You can definitely
jumping on some of those areas where you can only peek a headshot. I mean, those guys that are able to hit those shots like that are absolutely amazing.
Yeah. But those of you guys that don't know, Link was there in chat a minute ago. Excuse me, it is a closed beta, only accessible through Twitch drops. So make sure your Riot account is linked. Go lurk on some Twitch streams that have the drops activated. They will normally say in chat, you'll see a little notification saying that this stream does have Twitch drops activated. That's how you get a code, and it's just random as of right now. So that is your best luck. But good news, they are slowly giving those in. They are back live. The Twitch drops and just the beta as of right now is running indefinitely. There is no end date to the beta. And honestly, I see the beta going almost until release, if not until release.
Please just let it happen. I don't want to be about this game anymore.
I know. Well, that's the way that everything I've read, I feel like that might be a thing. I feel like they might just let it ride and then when they launch it in the summer,
them a lot of good.
When they're gonna keep updating. When they launch in the summer, they're just gonna push a massive update and be like, hey, here's our release update, and just go from there. Here's season 1, let's go. That's the vibe that I'm reading.
I'm sorry, I've just got to add this. Like, if anybody has been like really wanting to try and get an account to play, and has been looking on these dodgy websites where like you can buy an account, please do not do it, because Riot are banning those accounts and giving the keys back into the pool to the people that actually want to play it. So nobody's making money off this. Don't buy an account. You're not gonna get your game. You're gonna just lose cash to somebody who's trying to get a quick buck, and they're gonna get their quick buck, and you ain't gonna get your account, unfortunately.
Yep.
So please just try and get your Twitch drops if you want to play this game.
Just hang out for a couple days. Hang out with us in chat. You know, hang out with Vil. Hang out with me. Hang out with D when he finally gets a drop, or you know, hang out with D in our chats. You know, and just hang out.
That's probably gonna happen.
You know, learn by watching, and then when you get in, you'll get there. Don't make a stupid mistake and all that. Because honestly, like, if I didn't have a drop, if I had been watching streams all day yesterday, like, I mean, if you're watching the streams, you're learning a lot more. I'm learning by doing and having to. We're having to learn this, you know, on the job training. But you're gonna be learning. Yeah, you won't, you know, maybe not be flicking as quick with the characters, but you'll know what a lot of these people are doing just by watching. So yeah, you're not playing it. It kind of sucks, but hang out, watch the streams. It's better off than losing that $100 and all that kind of stuff. And then you'll just come in and know what these characters do. Also, there are no Mixer drops, despite what certain people on Mixer have put in their titles, including partners.
Did they really do that?
And yeah, it really annoys me. It's this. Yep. It really annoys me. A couple partners actually did that said like drops enabled in their actual title.
Oh, dude, well, that is bullshit.
Yep. I almost put something. I almost emailed Pam. I'm not even gonna lie, because I was like,
dude, I honestly, you should have. You shouldn't even, you know, no bullshit. You should have. That's fucked up.
Because yeah, that is artificial. Like you're
artificial growth.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same people who used to say that they were doing V-Bucks giveaway. Well, not the same exact person, but the same. I'm not now. You know, we're not knocking anybody in particular. We're not name dropping, but there were some people that, you know, also used to have V-Bucks giveaways in their channels, and
V-Bucks was their internal currency.
And I don't care for those people either. So. We're not going to call those people out, but that is a thing. So just Mixer drops are not a thing, guys. Yeah.
Be aware.
Mixer drops are not a thing, and anybody saying otherwise is
lying. Straight up lying.
Yeah. It's not a thing. So
it's sad because those people represent Mixer and they're lying.
Yep.
So that's my problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna go host somebody last night and all that. I saw they were a partner and I saw their title and I was like, really? But it's okay. I ended up hosting somebody who had like 100 followers, and we hosted them, and he was called That Whiskey Guy or something like that. And I was like, "Hey, whiskey, cool!" And I was like, "Cool, let's go host this guy."
I followed him.
Yeah, it's like that whiskey guy or that whiskey drinker or something like that. I was like, "Yeah, cool." Yeah, he was chill. He was British. Yeah. He was cool. Good little guy to chat to for a little bit.
Guys.
Yeah, exactly. You know, those Brits, they're good people. You know.
Yeah, you better say that.
Yeah, every once in a while we'll allow them to hang out every once in a while. But yeah, I really cannot wait. Even right now, going back into, I'll probably play a little bit of Valorant more tonight. But I cannot wait to play more. I'm really excited for it.
I see supposedly one right now. Drops enabled. Son of a.
Is it a partner?
Can we try again later?
I don't know.
Try and get in a game again, because I'm pretty sure the game just wasn't working right the other day.
I did hear that there were. So that's one of the things I want to say. I did hear that they were social. It's probably the same one I saw yesterday. I'll report it if you're going to, because it was annoying me yesterday when I went to get off, because that's not a thing. It should not be a thing. Because that's just bad representation of the platform, in my opinion. Especially as a partner. But yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, I did hear that the social matchmaking was a little rough yesterday, so I don't know if when we tried to do that, if that was a thing, Vil, yesterday. That being said, also, Vil, I don't know if you saw, I didn't see. Stop silent. I didn't see officially, but I did hear through the grapevine that any cosmetics that you buy, they're supposedly not transcending over to the actual game, but you're getting all those credits that you buy, you're getting all those back to buy other cosmetics plus 20% worth of cosmetics. which is kind of cool. I mean, because I'm gonna probably buy these cosmetics either way. So even if they don't transcend, I could rebuy them in the game, and then I'll get extra 20% from buying. That's just rumor that I heard playing with the Kareem and Cordy and all them earlier today. That's what they were saying. I have not seen any actual documentation on that though, guys. But that is what I heard through the grapevine. So if anybody sees anything officially, let me know. I don't know if you heard that, Villain.
I was just checking something quickly, so I do apologize. I was checking the Valorant.
Nobody listens to me.
I do apologize.
No,
we was on a subject before, and I just had to double check something.
Yeah. That's it's yep. And I'll check it later, but that annoys me. No, I was saying that supposedly the skins and cosmetics that you buy do not transcend over to the actual game when it comes out, but you get whatever money coins that you spent back with a 20% bonus to buy skins when it comes out, supposedly. Which,
baby, I am getting that
free money.
£50 back.
Yeah, like free money. I don't know for sure. That's what I've been told.
I mean, like, if you're spending money on this and supporting it before it's actually released while it's still in beta, I'm pretty sure they will give you a bonus, or either like the skins plus a little bit back. You know?
So even if the skins don't transcend over, but if the skins do transcend over, hey, you still have those skins. So I think it's win-win either way. You know?
Yeah, win-win. Definitely, I completely agree with you, my dude.
Yeah. So.
As long as they don't just take your money and run.
As long as it's...
Then I'll be pissed.
Yeah, then I'm
gonna be there, like, knocking the door. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, fucking riot. But yeah, that's the only thing I don't know how many maps and all that. I know we're gonna have more characters come when the game comes out. Right now, we just have the 10. But honestly, guys, amazing game. Definitely have those Twitch tabs open. If you have not, make sure that you're clicking on that link, getting everything linked up with your Riot accounts. That way you can play. It's a lot of fucking fun. Everybody's enjoying it. It's a blast. That's really.
I mean, it's a blast, but I've seen everyone's face that sheer look of just hatred at it when your team is an absolute idiot and you're not communicating and everything's just a cluster.
But I feel like that's that multiplayer though, which I hate multiplayer games. Like I steered away from like Halo and all that for so long, but that's like those matches, and I get like that at fucking, if I'm playing like Smite ranked, I fucking get that hatred of playing with fucking randoms. So it definitely, I think this squad will be
very similar, except it's going to be exacerbated because of the type of gameplay and how you have to be so reliant on that communication aspect.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm just happy about, it is a game that you can, if you are good enough, if you're in a 1v5 situation, you can still win that round. If you are good enough.
Now, consistently, this isn't a game that you're going to be able to take 1v5s.
Of course, that's it. But if you...
but I'm not saying I got 2 aces yesterday, my first day out, but...
The way the damage works...
There's always a bunch of ding-dongs out there that are like, oh, what's up there? And you're just gonna shoot him in the head, right? I mean, you're gonna pull that ace. But you know, if you start playing this competitively, that is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. But
yeah, and that's where those pre-squads...
Even in, like, competitive Counter-Strike, even at tournaments, you do see some insane, like, 1v3s, 1v4s.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm not going to take it away that you can't. I'm just going to say it's...
Oh, yeah, it's going to be much harder.
It's going to be,
The higher the level gets, the harder it gets to do.
Right.
Playing with a squad is definitely going to be better in these games for sure. And especially like me, and we talked, I was talking earlier with... Forrest as well. I'm one of those. I will not run comms. If I wasn't streaming, I would run comms. But I don't want to take that risk because all it takes is one idiot on the internet to say something over comms, and I don't.
It's private groups only. That's
exactly. I don't do
play.
public comms in the game, even though there is the game chat.
Public chat lobbies.
The first day, I risked it yesterday in the whole 11 hours that I streamed, and I had comms on, and I didn't get a single like toxic person. Only because like obviously there wasn't many people in. Everyone was still learning the game. Everyone was nice to each other. If anybody had a question, they would ask the question. You'd get help for the question. Like it was actually like
that's day one, and that's reassuring. Really nice. Think about the CS:GO community and tell me it's not going to be toxic as fuck in 2 weeks. weeks.
And the League of Legends community.
And League of
the
Legends, yeah,
Overwatch
exactly. Once,
community.
yeah.
All of these into one is not going to be.
Yeah,
a good
exactly.
Thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
That's awesome. The fact that you had that experience though, day one.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Frankly,
I really enjoyed it.
because
Disciple. Like, it was honestly refreshing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, and that gives me a minuscule of hope, but we all know that it's not going to last.
Yeah. That is awesome. I wish I had been running comms, but I've learned I just leave them off. Just
don't do
because
it either.
if I was running
not
one
an option.
PC, it'd be easier because I could just cycle the comms just to my headset and not to the stream. But since all my gaming stuff comes to the stream PC, it would have to go out to it's routed. It would have to be routed. So if I was running one, it'd be easier. But yeah, running 2 PC, I wouldn't be able to run comms and not mute it to the stream. So I just mute everybody. It's easier.
Yeah.
Just fair.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
And I
need
still
to
don't have
lose my
access,
partnership.
By the way, I've tried.
We
over
haven't
and
ended
over.
yet. You still have like 5 minutes.
Not there yet.
I told D that he was gonna have access by the time we ended. But that's really it. Let me check Discord. I did see, I think Warvet posted something.
Warvet.
But I think he was just asked about Final Fantasy VII, which we ended up talking about anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, he was talking about, he just posted about Final Fantasy VII. And I was keeping an eye on chat there at the end, so I think there wasn't much there. I'm super excited to go play Valorant. That's really about it.
I just realized that my handle for Valorant is going to be Rumpelstiltskin.
Awesome.
Apparently that's my username and not Disciple.
Oh wait, on Twitch or on that's your Riot name? Like your League of Legends
my Riot
name?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm going to be Rumpelstiltskin. That's going to be weird.
So if you want to change your name at all, you can actually change your Riot ID, which is the thing that displays in game.
Yeah. I need to change that.
Yeah, that's Riot just changed their whole setup. So, yeah. So, but yeah, that's it for this week's episode officially, guys. We covered everything. I don't see anything else in the Discord, all that kind of stuff. Chat, if you have any other things, say now or forever hold your peace. Otherwise, we'll kind of do outro stuff here as we're finishing up. Again, thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. I did not have nearly enough to drink. I've been wanting to go refill this glass for like the past half an hour, but I've been talking.
I need to get some more.
Can I just say thank you so much for having me, Kdog?
Of course.
Great to see you again, Disciple.
I'd love to have you back if it wasn't for the fact that it's like 6 in the morning and we started at like 4 in the morning for you. So
yeah, it's now 7:15 coming up to.
Happy vacation.
Thank you so much, my brother.
No, it was a pleasure having you. Well, we'll start with you, Vil. Of course, if you guys want Halo, all that kind of stuff, and also Valorant, we'll be playing together when we're able to. Ideally, if the servers allow it. League of Legends, it's linked to region lock, so we're not 100% sure if we can play together. But that being said, Vil, where can everybody find you? Obviously, we talked about times being a little awkward, but where can everybody find you? On Mixer, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff?
Everybody can follow me at VillanGames on Twitter and Instagram, and VillanG on here. So usually you'll be able to find me around 8:30 in the mornings or 8:30 in the evenings, depending on whether I'm working day or night shifts. Yeah. But right now I've got a week off, so I assume most of the time you're going to be hopping on, I'm going to be here.
Yeah. And that's 8:30 his time, which is what's your
time, yes.
what's your
is currently BST, British Summertime.
Yeah, there. I was like, what's your initials?
We just changed from GMT. Our clocks just went forward to BST.
Okay.
Didn't know that was a thing.
I thought only we had daylight savings time.
I thought so too. I thought that we were the only crazy people.
Yeah.
No, you're not, guys.
Okay.
I feel it too. I'm with you.
It's funny. Well, at least it's not as weird. U.S. everybody's daylight savings time except for Arizona. So we have one random state that just doesn't, and then they're like that one random state like does wigs out and is like, oh no, we're not gonna abide by it, and we're gonna be different rather than all the fucking longitude everybody else. Anyways, Disciple.
Yes.
Where can we all find you?
You can find me a Disciple everywhere. It's spelled funny, just like below and above. Disciple, Disciple. Yeah, it's everywhere. And then my H2 or my Epic create a code support thing jigger is H2O Disciple. I figured out that's the only thing that's a different name.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a
for the
full-time streamer now. Hit me up. Love you long time.
hashtag COVID. Thanks, COVID.
That's right.
Hashtag thanks, COVID. Again,
Hashtag
guys,
COVID.
and myself, of course, Kdog57 all the way around. Kdog57 gaming on everything except for Mixer. Kdog57 on here. So that way it's all the same. Again, guys, thank you, chat, everybody else. I didn't see anybody else out there. Yes, Sheila, like we said. Anything else out there in chat? Yeah, I guess he found that video.
So OP.
Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Hope to see you guys back in Valorant. Of course, next week we will be back on the show. Next week we have Video Game Diva on the show. She'll be here with us. So that's really it. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Love you guys long time. Everybody
love,
wave,
guys.
say bye. I will see you guys
love.
next week, and I'm going to go play some fucking Valorant. Later, everybody.
Peace, love,
I'm gonna watch them play. Bye.
Bye.